Hello everybody, this is Waldorf,
And this is Statler.
and today we're going to look at the Sylvan Elves Army Book.
Yes, so this will be a review of the Sylvan Elves version 1.3.4.
0.6, 0.8, 0.2.
Yes.
It's very technical.
Yes, yes.
Sylvan Elves, with their three little thorn thingies.
Yes, I said it's kind of the color version looks neat, but all
does.
the elves have like the three
Correct, the three little
roundish,
prong
yeah, but basically three prong, either three balls, three sides, or three briars, but yes.
All right, let's jump into the Sylvan Elves.
So yes. So we start off with the army-wide rules, and which is the forest follows. Basically, after both players have selected their deployment zones, but before they put any models down, the Sylvan Elf player gets to excuse me, put down one extra woods feature, which is about 6x6. What was I trying to remember?
Bigger than that,
Yes.
actually. It's like 10 by...
Yeah, it's 10 by
10 by like 9 or
9. I'm
something.
trying to remember, it's in centimeters, but
Yeah, it's pretty big.
can't be within 6 inches of an objective.
Actually, yeah.
The and this is one that I think a lot of players forget about, the last part, which is all forests on the battlefield then considered dangerous terrain 1,
Right.
unless you have the Strider rule.
Yep. Moving on, they have...
It's I expect this will go away because they're trying to make things different than the old Warhammer, but I always like this rule.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice rule.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of benefit, like you said.
Right.
Army special rules are Forest Walker. Models with this special rule have Strider Forest. Unit comprised entirely of models with this special rule starts the close combat phase with more than half its footprint in a forest. Then all model parts with the special rule can re-roll to wound rolls of 1 in close combat. If the army has one or more models with Channel and Forest Walker within a forest, add +1 to friendly channel. This is one I don't see play much. I don't hear this one being used.
We don't see many.
I don't see many Sylvan Elf players.
You don't see many mages, so
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
The forest strider, that makes sense for the army. I mean, they live in the woods,
Right.
So I think that's a good rule. Not a fan of the reroll 1s to hit in close combat if you're in the woods. There's not that many woods on the table usually, so
Right.
to be that restrictive, it's the same as the
And how does being
the
in
Dread
the woods
Elves
help you wound things?
yeah, whatever. So, if it had like 12 inches of a woods, it might make some sense. But otherwise, I'd actually rather they had an army rule that they, had a hard target, since they have no armor. So,
They got plenty of armor.
Yeah.
I see light armor all over this list.
absolutely.
We'll get to that later, but yes.
And the +1 channeling, whatever. It's like, if you can use it, fine. But
Yeah, but they have this awesome rule coming up, right?
yes,
What is that one?
it's a spell. Tree singing.
They sing to the trees?
It would seem so. It's a bound spell, level 3, range 24. You target any forest within range. Any friendly... read it again. It affects any friendly unit completely inside the forest and all enemy units in contact with the forest. Enemy units suffer D6 strength 5 hits, and the target forest and all eligible friendly units, but not enemy units, are then moved D3 + 3 in a single direction chosen by the caster. It counts as a magical move. The forest immediately stops just before moving into contact with the enemy or terrain feature.
What is an eligible friendly unit?
As far as I know, it's any friendly unit. So
Completely inside the forest?
if they're completely inside the forest, so I guess if you're partially out, then you wouldn't be eligible.
Okay.
This is whatever.
Is it a free? Oh, we'll see later, I guess.
You'll see it later. It's available. It's basically for the tree
it
spirit
something you
armies. Gosh, I should know this, but because I haven't taken it, I haven't used it. So
because I saw it used one way, and we weren't sure. Even the opponent wasn't sure if it was allowed. But according to the description I'm seeing here, it is. he was fleeing with he had a unit that was fleeing as getting close to the edge, and it was in a forest. So he moved the forest back towards the center of the board to keep his unit further away from the edge.
That would be legal.
Which was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, as a bound spell, I'm not a fan of it. I mean,
you're moving trees.
You're moving. When back in the days of Warhammer 7th, when trees really stopped you, it was a big deal.
It was deadly.
I remember a game I played against you, and I sealed you in with the woods. Yeah.
I had a unit of Tomb King chariots, and the gap between the woods just kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Yes.
But now that forest,
I won't forget that game.
Yeah, it doesn't really do a lot. I mean, it causes dangerous terrain, big deal. It's not such a big deal. The unit has to be in the forest to get the magic missile attacks. So it's a ho-hum thing to me. I mean, all bound spells are nice just because their casting value is so low, but otherwise it's like...
Maybe if it did some damage to something within like 6 inches of a forest.
If it was within, if it was within range, if it did stuff within range, you know, it's the same as I say with the forest follows, you know, that it's close to the woods. It's just, you may only have one woods on the table, you know. You're guaranteed to have one because you got Sylvan Elves, but
according to the rules, you're guaranteed to have 2. If you play by the pure rules.
Yeah. So, but it is what it is.
So armory, we've got the Faye Arrows.
Yeah.
Faye Arrows are found in 6 different varieties, have different effects when fired from a longbow. Models equipped with Faye Arrows may always choose between the following effects when shooting. All rank and file models and use must have the same arrow. Okay. You can use the longbow's normal rules, or ignore penalties for moving and shooting and lose volley fire.
Right.
And apply the arrow-specific rules below. Black arrows are strength 4 at short, armor piercing 1 at long. This is a nice arrow.
It is.
Hawthorn points are poison. True mark arrows ignore to hit modifiers for cover, skirmish, and long range. That's actually really good. Starlight Shaft is a magical attacks, flaming attacks, and divine. Okay. Perforating tips are armor AP3.
AP3.
And the Jewelweed Shot is multi-shot 2.
Right.
You take a multi-shot penalty for this, right?
Yeah. So, this is kind of a holdover from Warhammer 8th where they introduced all the magic arrows.
Right.
Personally, I just rather have abilities and not have I like the idea that it's the elves, not the arrows, that makes the Sylvan Elves special. You know, the black arrow is your standard arrow for. As we'll see when we get to the regular archers. It's a good arrow for a core troop, strength 4 at short range.
Yeah. AP at long
range. You can move and not take a penalty. Now, if you can still do volley fire with your guys, but of course you lose the black arrow ability.
But I rarely see elven units that are going to be volley firing because they're not that big usually. It
would be very well. You would use it because you're trying to shoot over something,
right?
Because you don't have a better shot, more than likely. But it's a nice arrow. I'm not a. I generally believe that most ballistic, handheld weapons in the game, they don't perform well enough for the points that you pay for them compared to war machines.
Oh, ballistic steel shooting, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, everything's ballistic steel now, but as far as, handheld weapons, as opposed to war machines.
Unit weapons, okay.
Yeah, and until you get to strength 4, it starts making a difference. And this is nicely designed because it kind of says to the Sylvan player, you want to get within 15 inches to get your strength 4.
Right.
So you're getting a bonus. So it's not just sitting back.
Encouraging you to close a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Move a little bit. And sitting at 30 inches and plinking away.
Completely playing the avoidance at 30.
Right. So, I mean, nice. I think it's a nice design arrow. Hawthorn points, poison attacks, and a strength 3 poison shot. At one point, it was really good. But now that every monster's got, 4 and 5 armor and ward saves, and it's not that good anymore. Yeah, it's nice to have, but if you have it in large numbers, but you can only afford so many, and only one unit can take it.
And the poison used to be a big thing against war machines before, but now that the toughness of war machines has dropped,
and they have more wounds,
and
it's lost its effectiveness.
Correct.
Exactly. True mark arrows can only be taken by characters and pathfinders.
Okay. But they already have such a huge ballistic skill. Does it really matter if they're ignoring cover?
And skirmish.
I mean, they've got usually like a ballistic skill of 7 or so, don't they?
Units?
No, it's not a you. You said units
No,
can't take this.
I
You said
said
characters.
No, I said the character and the Pathfinder unit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry. The Pathfinder unit's
yeah,
different.
you would never give that to a character, but
Right,
the Pathfinder
okay.
unit, has this as one of their arrows.
Okay.
So there are scenarios that you might use it. You got some skirmishers in cover that you're trying to plink off. So
Okay.
especially with those guys have ballistic skill 5. So scenarios you might use it. Starlight Shaft probably,
Trolls.
yeah, but probably the least likely. Still strength 3.
Yeah, but Flaming Divine, that's
Yeah.
really good.
It is. Perforating Tip, that's your anti-armor.
Mm-hmm.
AP3 sounds great. It's okay, but it's not great.
I don't know. Looks really good to me.
It's good if you got toughness 3.
Empire Knights, you're getting half your wounds through.
You're getting half your... First you're wounding,
Well,
so
I'm
half
just
of
saying,
that, and then you're halving
your
again.
wounds are half of your wounds are getting through.
Yeah. So
Even though he's got a 1-up armor.
correct.
Which I think that's really nice. If you have
It's good, but then you start running the toughness 4 guys and
Yeah.
monsters, and then it's not so good. Bejeweled shots, multi shots too. If you got
I don't. Yeah.
trying to get rid of some fast cab that's sitting in front of you, it doesn't have a lot of armor.
So you're giving up everything else for multi. I mean, you're.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You might
Okay.
take it. So, but the reality is all those 4 arrows are on characters and the Pathfinders. So it's only
Okay.
one unit that has them. They don't even need to be here because they could put it under the one unit. But when we'll talk about the problem with Pathfinders.
Yeah, we've talked about that before, where we don't.
Yeah.
I don't like things up here in this part.
I don't
when
like
they only
army-wide
apply to
rules
one
that only
unit.
apply to 1 or 2
Right.
units.
This is the armory, I guess, but that's
Yes,
so that's different. But-
exactly.
All right, moving
Brings
on.
us to Impaling Roots. This is only on Tree Fathers.
Okay.
Shooting weapon, range 12, multi-shots, D6 plus 1, strength 4, strength 5 if the target is in contact with the forest. Notice it doesn't have to be in the forest, it just has to be in contact with the
Okay.
forest, unlike the other ones, the tree
Right.
singing. Quick to fire, may march and shoot, ignores the hit modifiers for cover. This is a nice little shooting attack.
Yeah, this is the tree fathers.
Yeah.
Right? Have this.
It's not gonna win you any games by itself.
No, it's pretty good, especially if you can stack them, have a couple of them.
Yeah, but it's a nice little shooting attack by itself if you don't pay too much for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of nice. Sylvan Lance is a close combat weapon. Light Lance attacks may. Okay, so they get AP1 with the Light Lance. Okay,
Correct.
I like that.
Which is fine. You'll find that,
So you're +1 strength on the charge and an extra point of armor
Right.
piercing.
and then that's not just on a charge. You keep your armor piercing.
Oh, good
Yeah,
point. Yep.
So, brings us to Sylvan Blades, close combat weapon, paired weapons, and they gain AP2. I'm sorry, AP1. I wish it was
Okay.
AP2. AP1. So another. So you'll see the thing here. The Black Arrows have AP at range.
Mm-hmm.
Sylvan Lance does. The Sylvan
A
Blades
lot
do.
of AP in this armor.
And they have spears in the army, of course, which also has AP. So
Right.
so the army has a lot of AP1.
Low attacks, but AP.
Yeah.
Low,
Low strength.
Right.
Which is
And then the Elven Cloaks, if combined with light armor, gains an innate defense 6.
right.
So basically turns your light armor into heavy.
Yeah, it's kind of a, people had a problem with Sylvan Elves having heavy armor,
Okay.
which I just watch Lord of the Rings.
I kind of, well, yeah. But
But so this is the workaround, which, okay, whatever.
I don't mind this. I think that's decent.
I don't mind. I'd rather the Elven Cloak did something different. I'd rather it was hard target and distracting myself. So instead of them armoring up the guy, just make them harder to hit.
That does fit with the army.
And it fits with the army,
With all elves, they should be so skilled and whatever, they're
Right.
hard to hit.
Exactly. I mean, my thing is, for elves, if they they all get distracting unless they have heavy armor or higher.
Right.
That's a trade-off.
Why don't you just change that?
Yeah.
Write that in. Tell them to do it. That brings us to Kindred.
And the Kindred's only they apply to all Sylvan Elf characters. You can buy them. Yes.
Okay. First guy is what? Blade Dancer?
Yes.
Models on foot only. Wearer gains a 6-up ward save, immune to psychology, and dances of Sinrin.
Yes. It's basically the special dances.
The Blade Dancers.
Yes.
The bearer's unit gains Swift Stride. Oh, that's nice. The model may only join or be joined by other Blade Dancer Kindred characters and
Yes.
units of Blade Dancers. Cannot use any shooting weapons or armor. neither mundane nor magical. Okay. So you can give a unit of Blade Dancers Swift Stride if you join them.
Yes.
Okay. That's not bad.
Of
course, the guy's naked.
The guy has no real protection. I mean, you're hoping to kill off whatever you're fighting before he dies.
Well, he gets a ward save, right? You can buy a ward
you
save for him.
You can, pay the full points for a 4-up ward save. Since ward saves don't stack, that's something I wish they would change in the basic rules, so people that had one, they could get the additional without having to.
Yeah, but then they have to rework a lot of things to look for all those chances of the 3 and 2 up armor.
Well, you can just cap it. You can never improve better than that. So, but yeah, I said. I mean, I think you can take this guy. You just have to pay attention to what your fights are. It's really about the Swift Stride. Not being able to protect him is a challenge. A lot of people don't like that he can only join dancer units, so you can't use him. That's so he doesn't buff other units. I understand that limitation. I just don't like the not being able to having any protection for a character, especially as expensive as they get for Sylvan Elves. Brings us to Forest Guardian. 60 points, models on foot only. You'll see a trend here. The model gains +1 attack and innate defense 5.
Okay.
The only close combat weapons he can equip with are magical or mundane spears and great weapons, sylvan blades, or mundane hand weapons. I think this is a very nice upgrade for a character. You get an attack, you get your improve your armor defense, and yeah, he's got limited on what type of weapons he can take, but he's only on foot.
Right, but he picks up heavy armor and he's a 3-up armor.
Basically, yes, and that's if you don't take something else to make him a little bit better. Yeah. And the weapons, you'll see the Sylvan Elves have a really nice spear. The great weapon isn't any good anymore, but there's other options that you can take. So, and I think I think this is a nice upgrade.
Okay.
If you're gonna take an upgrade for a character, I actually think this is one of the better ones.
This is one of the better ones.
Yeah.
And he can go in any unit apparently.
Correct.
As long as they're on foot.
Yes.
Well,
technically he can go in a mounted unit, but
yeah. Those guys aren't going to be happy dragging his slow butt around. Next choice is the Pathfinder for 75 points. Again, models on foot. It seems to be
yeah.
Okay. 0 to 2 per army.
We will get the one eventually.
The model gains +1 ballistic skill, scout, master archers. That's access to all the arrows.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And
arrows. Multi-shot 4. Ooh.
Yes.
That's kind of nice.
Read the next line.
Bearer's model count both towards unseen arrows and characters. Okay.
Yes.
Unseen arrows is your shooting
category.
category.
The shooting category. Yes.
Oh, so your character is going against your shooting category.
Yes, at high
with
high
4
points.
shots.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I don't think characters should count towards. Anyway, to categories like that when he's bringing 4. I mean, it's going to be 4 good shots, but really,
one of the big problems you're going to see as we get farther into the Sylvan Elves is they are far, and it's my opinion, by far the most restricted in how they can build their army because of multi-categories. I'm a big fan of what the 9th Age team did as far as changing how categories work and all that. I do not like things in multiple categories,
right?
Especially when it's affecting core capabilities.
Well, when this book came out, the 1.3 came out, there was almost a revolt on the Sylvan Elf page.
Yeah, they fixed they somewhat
completely broken.
Yeah, it was impossible to make an army pretty much. I mean, I couldn't actually. I've got 8,000 points worth of Sylvan Elves.
Right.
I could not actually build an army. Yeah.
You keep talking about these Sylvan Elves. No one's ever seen them.
That's because they don't really exist.
Okay.
I think we did a Warbands game once. We had.
You did. I've seen like 300 points of your Sylvan
Yeah,
Elves.
so that was like 4 guys.
And that was like a year ago or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, the Pathfinder ability. The arrows are all strength 3 arrows. I'm just not. It's okay, but I'd rather have a whole bunch of black arrow guys,
And he gets +1 ballistic skill, which cancels
is already
out the multi-shot.
Yeah, well, he's already got crazy ballistic skill anyway. He's going to have a ballistic skill of 8.
4 shots with this guy with those armor-piercing arrows is kind of nice.
It's kind of nice.
Anyway, I'm not saying it's game-breaking. I'm just saying it's kind of nice.
Just what you end up paying for it. I just, Yeah. I'm not as enamored with. Wild Hunter, 70 points. We have something new.
Hey, he's mounted
He
on
can actually mount on a elven horse or a great elk.
So this is a guy that has to be mounted.
Yes.
Okay.
So, first thing is he gains Frenzy,
Okay.
which is a double-edged sword, of course.
Always.
The bearer has Devastating Charge and Light Troops, so, +1 attack, and he gets Light Troops, so he can actually maneuver around. The model gains Fear until the end of the combat phase after the model has successfully charged into combat. So,
the model gains fear until the end of the combat phase after the model is good.
the turn that he charges, he gains Fear.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
not written well.
No, but basically that's what it is.
Because I could read that as you start the game with fear until you've charged into something.
Yeah.
Until after the turn you've charged into something. Anyway.
It just basically gets Fear on the charge.
Because it never tells you when you get fear. It just says when you lose it.
Yes.
So
That.
I'm saying I got fear from the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I guess you could say that until you fight once.
Oh, until the end of combat after I've successfully charged.
Yeah.
As long as I don't charge, I keep fear the entire game.
Okay. That'll do so much for you. As
Exactly.
long as you get charged, then you're
Yeah,
okay. You just
okay.
park your guy in front. Yeah.
Anyway. Sorry. Okay, 70 points. Devastating charge. You get +1 attack if you charge, and fear.
The Fear is a big deal. Devastating Charge is nice.
Both those are nice, but 70 points.
Frenzy is problematic
Probably, yeah.
from a guy who's going to be moving 9.
Correct.
So,
I mean, it's going to be on a guy with decent leadership.
9 leadership, yeah.
Um,
Because you can't have a 10 in this army anymore. So,
verboten.
yes, it
Okay.
yes, it's verboten. I'd rather just have a guy on a Great Elk
Yeah.
without.
Without this.
I'll give up the Devastating Charge not to have the Fear.
Right.
Yeah.
Brings us to Shapeshifter for 95 points. Another model on foot. Model gains movement 9. That's a really fast little guy on foot.
Yep.
+2 initiative, +1 attack, and +1 ward save.
Sounds great so far.
To a maximum of 4 up ward save.
Yes.
The model gains not a leader, and that's
never
a
join
fairly
a unit.
significant catch here.
Yeah.
May never join any unit
Correct.
or be joined by any other character.
Yes.
Whoa.
And it counts against Fleet of Foot, which is the fast category.
So he's movement 9. He is fast.
Yes.
But again, I don't like characters counting against those categories. Wow.
Not as much as character counter.
That's a really tough,
He used to come with a 4-up ward save,
right?
so you could, and people would take him. You'd hide him behind buildings and whatever, and use them. You could see it, but now that it's a +1 ward save,
Well, you can take that cheap armor for the 5 up, the armor fortune, I guess,
you can.
for the 5 up ward, and this bumps it to 4
Yes, you
for
can.
fairly cheap. But
But you want
he's always alone. That means
the problem with taking that Street Army doesn't have enough armor. Then he's still a toughness 3 guy.
Yeah, he's a toughness
3
3
wounds.
guys with no armor and 3 wounds.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, no. Well, I guess he's got armor.
So you've got to give him better armor than just a heavy armor.
Yeah, but there's not.
So
Not a leader majority.
you end up having to take heavy armor, and then you take either the shield, or you take helm, or you do something to get his armor save up.
Well, if you take, you mean something that doesn't, and then take something else for the ward
Then you
save
have to
5.
then you have to
and
take
get it
then you have to
bumped
pay
down
separate
4.
for the 5, so it costs more.
Right.
It's the only way you can get his protection. So
Okay,
now the points just start stacking up for a 3 wound guy.
yeah, that has to be by himself all the time.
Right.
That means any bolt thrower on the board can hit him.
Now in some metas that's fine, but yeah, if you happen to be against in a shooting meta or a magic-y meta,
Right.
it's a tough thing.
That's kind of
for
risky.
for the points. I mean, you can build him so anything that he runs into, he'll kill
Right.
as a missile.
Mm-hmm.
Just give him pickaxe or whatever.
So the glass cannon thing.
Yeah, and he's like the ultimate glass cannon. The thing is, can you keep him alive? And in certain metas you can, but others, he'd be easy points for a lot of people.
You got a towering presence
The
model in your army?
there is.
Have him
Yeah, that's what you do. You end up hiding behind the tree man or behind the building. or
Walk
whatever.
along behind one.
That's what you end up doing, is hide them until
Right.
you can get an angle in. So yeah.
Yeah. This
But,
guy's a really good target for Doom Divers.
He is
The
a
old Doom Divers.
He is still a good target for him. But yeah,
Anyway.
brings us to the aspects of nature. Now the aspects of nature are the magic upgrades for all the tree spirits.
Okay.
They
Tree fathers and
Yeah.
whatever the other thing is.
and dryad matriarchs and
Okay.
the tree folk. Now, those units can't generally, with one exception, they can't generally take magic items, so they're limited, kind of like demons are, to just these items here.
Okay.
Each is one of a kind. The first one is Entangled Vines, 100 points. In a challenge, the opponent must reroll successful rolls to hit against a model with this aspect.
That's really nice.
It's really nice if you didn't need to take some of the other ones if you took these guys.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Toxic Spores for 60. Every model in the bearer's unit gains a shooting attack with the following profile: range 12, strength 3, lethal strike. Okay.
It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
That's not bad. The range 12 is short, but
Yes.
you can stand and shoot, which
Right.
is decent. Doesn't say you can't, right?
Right. And it's lethal strike shooting, so you can
Lethal strikes.
you can
hurt
annoy
big
somebody with
stuff.
some armor.
Yeah. Anyway. After you hit, you got to roll the 6 to wound. Anyway.
You do. I'm saying, but you can if
You can.
You've got 24 dryads going.
Right.
You're gonna potentially roll a 6 or 2, right?
Probably.
So then we have Scarred Bark for 80 points. All dryads in the unit, as same unit as the bearer, gain hatred. This used to be an automatic upgrade. Now you pay for it. But nothing wrong with it.
Okay.
Hatred's a wonderful rule if you can get it.
The Oaken Crown for a mighty 10 points. Tree Father Ancient only. The Forest Giants category is increased to 40%.
Yes.
The Unseen Arrows category is decreased to 10%. And the Fleet of Foot is decreased to 15.
Right.
A single Thicket Shepherd may be the Battle Standard Bearer for 50. This Battle Standard Bearer may take a magical standard, but if this model takes an aspect of nature, the total cost of that aspect and this magical standard cannot exceed 100 points. If this model debates, turns the guy into a BSB.
It doesn't.
Right?
It allows a unit to become a BSB. It doesn't turn them into it.
Oh. Yeah, you can upgrade us.
Yeah, maybe the battle standard for 50 points.
For 50 points,
So
which is normal.
Yes, so you're.
I mean, you're not paying much for this. The only thing this is doing is just sucking out that aspect
Correct.
of nature from your army. I mean, that means you've got a Tree Father Ancient
Correct.
who doesn't have Entangling Vines. He does this,
Yes.
right?
So, yeah, I mean, there are people that love this. I think it's a stupid item.
I think it's fine.
I
This is
wouldn't.
for those people doing the whole tree army, right?
I love the concept. I just don't like it as an aspect.
Okay.
It should just.
If it was a magic item, or
It should just
something
be a
you can do.
rule. If you treeman, whatever you want to call it, Tree Father, Oaken Throne. It shouldn't be an aspect that you have to pay points for. To me, is if I take a Tree Father General, I have the option of
Right.
making
Doing
a,
this.
a wood army or
Okay.
or an elf army. If I take the wood army, what's the point of paying 10 points? I mean,
Well, the
It's-
10 points I don't care about, but I think
my
the
point.
problem is it takes away from the other choices he has.
I'm okay with that. That's a theme army. I mean, but to take up a slot of aspects,
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah,
I mean, that means he cannot be
he
the
can't take
entangling vines.
he can't do any of these other things. So I'd rather it just be, if you have a Tree Father and you decide he's going to be
Right.
your general, this is what he is.
This is what he gets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your army is now a
Yeah, if
you know,
they
tree
want
army.
to build that 10 points into the Tree Father Ancient,
I
whatever.
mean, you don't have to pay even 10.
It's 10 points. What is that? Nothing.
But I said there's no point in even having 10 points.
Correct.
It is nothing. But
No,
it's
I
like,
agree.
what for? Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Entwined Roots, another 10 points. During army creation, upgrade one unit of Thicket Beasts. This unit loses scoring and gains +1 strength for 15 points per model. The strength bonus applies only as long as the bear is alive. The point cost for the upgrade is added to the unit's point cost. Another aspect. It's a great aspect because you like to have that toughness 5, strength 5. Thicket Beasts is a wonderful thing.
Right.
They've limited how big they can be on it, but this could have just been an upgrade to the Thicket Beast.
Like limited how big it can be.
Yeah, you'll see when we get to it later.
Okay.
But so just make it an upgrade to one unit of Thicket Beast. Why do you have to use up an aspect to get that?
So magical items. We have the Bow of Wiscan.
Wiscan, yes.
It's a longbow. 100 points. Longbow may choose to replace its normal shooting attack with multi-shot 2d6, strength 1, poison attacks. Special shooting attack cannot be combined with Faye Arrows. Faye Arrows are the Which one's the Faye?
The magic arrows.
Oh, any magic arrows. So
They're not magic anymore, but they're just...
basically you're firing 2d6 strength 1 shots.
Correct.
Poison.
Correct.
Poison not being what it used to be.
Yep.
This is probably a little overpriced.
You used to see it on mages. Of course, now you don't see mages very much, but...
right.
Because, yeah.
I like the 2d6... I like the 2d6 strength 1 shots. The 6s, you're going to need 6s to wound, to hit. Well,
yes.
6s to wound. With strength 1, you're going to need 6s to wound almost everything. Mm-hmm. But it's poison.
6s, yes.
Okay. So typically you're getting 7 shots, you're getting a poison hit, and maybe 1 more.
Yeah.
So you're maybe causing 2 wounds a turn.
Yep.
That's strength 3.
Yep. No AP on it.
No AP, all straight strength 3.
Yeah, you're paying... Compared to the magic bows
for that.
other people have...
Yeah, that's kind of.
And
rough.
this is supposed to be the magic bow army.
Shooting
army.
army.
You would think.
Yeah.
That's how I view it.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
it's overpriced for what it does.
So I mean, it's an okay item, but you wouldn't waste character points on it unless you had some points on a mage. You know.
No, that's tough.
Yeah. So I'm not. I mean, the only good thing is it doesn't cost against your points for unseen
Fleet of
arrows.
arrows or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So you put it on. Like I said, you put on a mage. If you were ever to take a mage, which I don't think you. The way they're costed right now, you wouldn't do that. The Sacred Spear of Cateron, 70 points. It's a spear.
It's a spear.
So it has to be a guy on foot.
That guy that has the...
Yes. Attacks made with this weapon gain +1 strength. So now you're strength 5. If the bearer causes at least 1 unsaved wound with this weapon, the bearer in all rank and file models and bearers units gain distracting until the end of the close combat phase.
That's really nice. I like this.
This is a wonderful
item.
Wonderful item.
Yeah. This is fantastic. Because you got a high initiative.
Yes.
So, yeah, poke a guy and your whole unit's -1
exactly.
hit.
If you can get the wound through, and you're getting the distracting, which these guys need a lot.
Yep.
So,
I like that.
Yeah. So I really like the...
So as long as you don't get sucked into a challenge, you can usually poke a rank and file guy.
Yes, yes.
Right?
Yep.
Next we have the Whirlwind Blade. 100 points, models on foot only. It's a great weapon. Attacks made with this weapon gain multi-wounds 2. Okay, I like that a lot. Multi-wound 2 unconditional is what's good about it.
It's decent, but...
and it's all the time.
Yes.
It's not on a 6 you get a multi-wound.
It actually used to give the distracted benefit too. A +1 armor save too, I'm sorry. So you saw it on the shapeshifter to get his armor save up.
Oh, okay.
So when they nerfed that, they kind of, unfortunately, they do a lot of, as you've seen,
multi-nerfing.
They do not, so just changing one thing, they change 2 to 3,
right.
And it makes it bad. It's an okay weapon.
I think it's pretty good.
I like Jack's pickaxe.
Well, that's the problem with that is that's limited to towering presence models.
Yeah, and then I like the halberd.
Beastbane halberd.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
For the points. Yeah.
I still like this item a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway.
I just think it costs a little too much.
I think 2 of these items are good. One of them
is
the bow is overcosted.
Yeah. Magic armor. Helm of the Hunt, 40 points.
The Wild Hunt.
The Wild Hunt, sorry. Its type is none. Gives a 6-up armor save, +1 armor save. The bearer gains +1's weapon skill and +1 attack until the end of the combat phase following after the model has successfully charged in the combat.
Okay.
I like this item. I'd rather they did away with the weapon skill boost and dropped the points a little bit, but
yeah, because you usually don't need it.
You already got pretty high weapon skill, but it's fine. But I think it's a nice item and gives you that whole glass cannon feel with your characters. Another way to get an additional attack on your guys.
This is another one that's written kind of weird, where they're telling you when it ends.
Yes.
But not real clear on where it begins.
Yeah.
I'm going with I get it at the beginning of the game.
There you go.
If I play Sylvan Elves.
Yeah.
If you're playing Sylvan Elves, I'm going with we'll go with your interpretation.
Until the first charge, then we go with yours, right?
There you go.
Never comes back.
The Talisman. Fire Blight Pendant for 50 points. Neither the bearer nor anyone who attacks the bearer in close combat gains any strength bonuses from either magic or mundane weapons. This sounds really good. What's wrong with it?
It's decent.
Okay.
It's decent if you put your guy on an elk.
Right, because he's toughness 3. People don't need strength bonuses to wound you.
Right. I mean, who cares? On the elk, it's toughness 5.
But if you're armored up, that means they're not hurting your armor save. Right? Anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
They get no strength bonuses. If they're already strong, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, an ogre strength 5.
Yeah. So,
an orc strength 5.
Yeah.
So he's wounding you on a 2, but it's still only -2 to your armor instead of that
Correct.
great weapon pounding you at -4.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I like it.
I think it's worthless on the toughness 3 guy myself. But I think if you put the guy on an elk who's toughness 5,
Oh, then it's
now
really
you're
good.
now you're
Much
making a guy
better.
a little tanky. You know,
Right.
you have to watch strength 6 guys, but you're making a guy a little bit more tanky and survivable.
Okay.
Chain of Diamonds, the Mistwalker's Mirror, 70 points. Models on foot only, 1 use only. If the bearer unit consists entirely of infantry models, is unengaged and is entirely within a forest terrain feature that does not contain any enemy models, the unit may teleport to any other forest terrain feature on the game board. The special movement is resolved at the end of the player's movement phase. When teleporting, the unit must be placed entirely within the target forest. It must appear in any legal formation, but not with 1 inch of an enemy unit, basically, of another unit. Unit counts as having performed a march move.
So you can't shoot.
So, correct. So this is basically the old teleporting.
Right. One forest to another.
One forest to another.
Um.
But you only get to use it 1 time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm all right with this.
I don't have any problem with it being here, but I wouldn't take the item.
It's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points for an army that doesn't have a lot of characters. And
It's a lot of points in it. Hoping there's multiple forests on the table.
yeah. And even if there is, I mean, if you're an opponent and you're concerned about that particular unit that this guy's joining, jumping around, you just have to position you put some fast cabinet force or something to keep him out of there. So,
You have to.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to keep him out completely, but anyway, all right.
But it's from a fluff perspective, I think it's
Yeah.
okay army, okay item. It's just the character's costing so much, and you need to keep them alive. I
and
can't
then
see
putting
using,
70 points into
Yes.
this. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it
what's
just
up.
costs. It's a
I
lot
guess
of points.
the mage is the prime.
Right, but then you could risk losing your mage if you.
Yeah.
I'll let them jump this mage, then I can, I'll charge into it and put all my attacks into the mage.
Sacred Seeds for 70 points. Model on
Yes.
foot only. 1 use only. Player may activate this item at the end of any friendly movement phase and place a forest terrain feature in contact with the bearer and at least 1 inch away from any enemy units and other terrain features. The forest may not be larger than 6 inches in diameter. So it's an instant grow forest, 1 time a game. Okay. Again, it's 70 points on a toughness 3 guy that you need to protect.
It's 70
Instead
points.
of giving him a weapon, you're really counting on that force to save your butt. I guess if you put it in front of a unit, it kind of means if a unit charges you, it can't be steadfast.
That's one way to use it.
I can see that.
You
to
can use it
prevent him from charging you.
right. You can use it with the Mistwalker. You mirror,
The what? Oh.
above, to help you bounce around.
Yeah, but it has to be touching you, right?
Sorry. Yes.
In front of the case in contact with the bearer.
Right, but you don't have to be in the forest to be using it.
No, what I'm saying though is,
In theory, you could cast it and then teleport to the other
can
woods.
you? Because the other one comes
Yeah,
after.
because you put it on yourself, you just can't get it within 1 inch of an enemy.
Well, you put it
unit.
on yourself on this turn.
Right.
It's
a magic
at
item.
the end of the friendly movement phase, you use this, you create a forest. Okay.
Yeah.
So they both happen at the end of the turn. So
Yeah.
I guess you can create it. I guess if you judge this in contact with as
Right.
being in.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want
So
to
you
pay
can.
for 140 points?
So if you're stuck out, it's 140 points. Oh, yeah, brutal.
So I mean,
It's a nice little trick if these two were combined.
yeah. And they're both to me trick things that
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
you can use against a player that doesn't
They're
really
pretty
know what Sylvan Elves
situational, though.
do. Yeah, and it's just a lot of points for expensive characters that
Okay.
are squishy. Brings us to the Haleshot, 1 use only. When this item is used, it is a shooting weapon with the profile range 30 inches, strength 4, multi-shots 3d6. If fired at short range, it gains armor piercing 1.
Okay.
Faye Arrows cannot be used with in conjunction with the Haleshot. So this is the old Hail of Doom arrow, basically, which is actually a little better because it's got the AP one.
Yeah, I like this.
So it's a nice arrow.
It's a nice arrow, as long as you don't roll triple ones, which you're famous for.
Yeah.
This typically means 6 or below shots for you.
Yeah, 5's usually my number. But yeah. But no, this is a solid item. It's been around forever. I suspect it won't survive the rewrite, but
You don't think so?
just because it's a copy.
Oh, yeah.
anything
Gotcha.
that's too similar to 8th, I think is going to go away.
Okay. Next, we have the Drums of Sinrun.
Yep.
The Blade Dancer Kindred
50
only.
50
points. One use only. A lot of these one use only things.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of one use
Neither
only
am I.
usually. Item may be activated when the bearer declares a charge. The target of the charge may only declare a hold as their charge reaction unless they are already fleeing. The enemy unit may still declare charge reactions as normal if it is subsequently charged by other units. Actually, I kind of like this. But it's a Blade Dancer Kindred only.
Correct.
So this is the naked guy you're putting
The
in
naked
with
guy
the
that
Blade
you paid
Dancers.
extra points to make him, naked.
But you got a unit, you paid all this points to give your unit Swift Stride, now he can't run from you. So I kind of like this.
Yeah.
Kind of ensuring your one charge goes off.
Yeah.
So I can see its usage. I don't know if you're paying 50 points on this, but
Well, since you can't buy any armor for the guy,
I guess that leaves you. That leaves you 50 points to spend on something else.
Yeah. I don't generally like items that are restricted to a very small number of models in the army to be able to use them as a magic item.
Right.
Then you end up with like these force builds. I think the item is okay. That's all I'd say about it. I think it's okay
Okay.
in its situation. Because if you want to get that Blade Dancer unit into combat, you've got a better chance of doing it. You still could fail the charge
You could.
roll, but
Yeah, you can always blow that.
you can always blow that. But and then they can't run away.
Okay. Magic standards.
Yes. Emeril's Banner, 35 points. Infantry models in the Bears unit gain fight and extra rank. They fixed this because it has infantry models. For a while, the monstrous infantry could take it, which was ridiculous. Yeah,
Oh,
that was
okay.
a little OP. It's fine. The only thing is that this is an army that probably only have one unit,
That's ranked
maybe two. It's going to be ranked up in deep ranks.
up. Okay.
Because if you take the spearmen, you're already fighting in 3, so you're going to be really deep to
Oh,
get bonus out of this.
Correct.
It's good for the huntsman guys if you want to play a big unit of those. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not too expensive. I like relatively inexpensive banners. I think there needs to be a lot more of them in the game.
Okay.
I kind of like some other kind of banners, in place of somebody's one-use
Right,
items,
yeah, right.
But yeah. So it brings us to the army organization. So the characters 40%, which is average. Core 25%, which is average. Special is no limit, average. They have the unseen arrows category, which is primarily all their shooting. They have the fleet of foot, which is primarily everything that has decent movement or maneuverability.
Okay.
Then they have the forest giants, which are basically the tree fathers.
With their mushrooms.
Yes, with their mushrooms.
Okay.
This doesn't seem so bad. The one challenge that Sylvan Elves has, just even when we get into the list, is so many of the units are in multiple categories.
Right.
They've really
Well, I saw the characters counting against different categories as well.
yeah, and there's even more restrictions when you start mounting them and stuff. And that's really it was terrible when they first came up with 1.3, but thankfully the 9th Age team saw the outrage and they immediately made some changes. So it's better, but it's still
Don't know how that got through originally, but
yeah. Well, I think Sylvan Elves, Kingdom of Equitane are the two hardest armies for them to design because their play styles are
unique.
historically have been outside the
Right.
ranks and flanks design that most armies followed, and that was kind of thing. There's this total fear of avoidance style, and I think, and of course, when you think avoidance, everyone automatically thinks Sylvan Elves.
Correct.
That's just that's
Yeah,
history.
First army that comes to mind.
Right. Now, there's a reason they always had to have avoidance because they could never fight anything. Right. So, I mean, if you can't fight them, fight up. That's what you do in any army. Now, so they've really, I think, overcompensated to a degree because You got like the Dread Elves who can do avoidance very well. King of Equitaine now is an avoidance army, so you have other armies that can avoid because they're mounted and they're faster,
Right.
So I think they kind of overdid it a little bit. But we'll see what happens when they do. This is the one area that I think they'll have to do some work on in 2.0 because this multiple categories things that you'll see is kind of, it's also a pain in the tuchus to put an army list together.
Put an army list together. Yeah. Thank God for Army Builder.
Yes.
And other army building programs. All right, so the army list. Characters, 40% max. Lords of the Forest.
Yes.
Look at that. I'm the Lord of the Forest.
Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da.
That sounds so special.
Yes. I think they have the River Dance upgrade.
He's movement 5, weapon skill 7, ballistic skill 8. Look at that.
Yep.
Awesome. Strength 4. Look at that toughness. That's a monster there. Toughness 3. Wounds 3. 9 initiative. Wow. 4 attack. That's the fastest thing I've seen, isn't it?
Yes.
4 attacks and 9 leadership.
They took away the 10 leadership because the army was not supposed to be a leadership bubble army. It was supposed to be an elite army. Of course, there's still a lot of 8s in the armies, which is good, but I wouldn't consider it elite. But anyway, and they boosted up some of the other categories, so you're really fast now.
So the chieftain, who's the next level down, loses a weapon skill, a couple ballistic skill, 2 initiative, and an attack.
Yes.
Okay. Wow, his ballistic skill went down by 2. Devastating.
Well, they give the bonus to the ballistic skills. So.
Forest walkers, they all get Forest walker, of course. They all get lightning reflexes.
As all elves get.
The Forest
Hopefully,
Prince,
version 3 they'll do away with lightning reflexes, but
yeah, I would like to see it, but I don't know that it's going to.
Yeah.
Forest Prince gets his 220. The chieftain's 70 points cheaper. Wow.
Yeah.
Battle standard bearer for 50.
Usual.
This is kind of normal.
Magic item stuff, normal.
Yeah. No low limit on the kindred you take.
Comes with light armor.
Comes with light armor. Shield, elven cloak.
And the cloak remembers +1.
Makes you heavy armor, basically.
Yes, basically, yes.
Longbows were fairly cheap. Faye Arrows.
Expensive for each.
1 choice. And can take a weapon, blah, 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 blah. All these normal. It's funny how they're the same, and then they start getting different. Anyway.
The same. Oh, at the top, the
same
spear
cost,
and the Sylvan
same
blades.
cost,
Yeah. Well, something about lances, they feel that they're...
And I don't know, and we've said this before.
Like here, why would a lance be more than a great weapon?
Correct. Great weapon works every turn. Lance doesn't.
Yeah.
Lance is only when you charge. Anyway.
Especially with elves, which, the difference is a hit number. It has nothing to do with your initiative. It doesn't make any sense.
And why is the Sylvan Lance the same as a lance?
Yeah.
Lance is +2 strength. This is +1 strength.
Plus AP.
And +1 AP.
I guess you get the AP on the following turns.
Maybe so. Okay.
But still,
okay. Horse for 80. Great Elk for 120. Forest Eagle for 130. It's interesting. They're all the same.
Yes.
And a Dragon for 520.
Well, you're not gaining any toughness, I guess, is what they're thinking. Yeah.
What do you mean?
I mean, you're not getting any wounds. That's what I meant to say.
Oh, Great Elk only has 3 wounds.
Great Elk has 1 wound.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Forest Eagle only has 3, so
Correct.
the dragon's going to abuse it. Now read this next part.
Characters mounted on Elven Horse, Great Elk, and Forest Eagle additionally count towards Fleet of Foot.
Yes.
So you're 200 and, well, if you give me magic items, you're 300 plus your aspect.
Yes.
So you're talking about a probably closing in on 400-point character is counting against your...
So you take 2 of them and you pretty much have nothing else.
Oh, that's bad.
So you really can't do any kind
And
of...
then there's one of those choices up there that if you took, he counts against your silent...
Unseen arrows,
right?
And the shapeshifter also counted against the fleet of foot.
Okay, and dragons, and they're out. Okay, this is the normal. Dragons
Yes.
counting against the big stuff. Okay.
Yes.
That's kind of fine. I don't mind this. This bugs me a little bit. But
I don't like the multi.
I don't like your character erasing a unit or a unit and a half
probably 2
out
units.
of your army.
Because this is an MSU army to a
Right.
large degree, so it's probably 2 units.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this.
That's 2.
This probably needs to go away.
Yeah, it does.
On the characters. I said that when I was looking at the aspects.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Brings us to the Druid, which is the magic user. Normal elven stats for a magic user. Weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 4, strength, toughness, wounds 3, initiative 5, 1 attack, and leadership 8.
Okay.
So with I don't remember on the hybrid. Well, you can backdoor into a higher level initiative. So you really don't want to take a druid as your general. So
Well, leadership 8, no.
yeah. So Forest Walker, Lightning Reflexes, Wizard Apprentice, becomes a Master Wizard 70 normal points. They have access to Druidism, Shamanism, and Cosmetology. I kind of like Druidism. The casting dice make me scared for squishy guys.
Okay.
I guess you can throw them back after you blow them up with your spells. You know,
You got that going for you.
Shamanism, which to me is one of the best lores in the game for
Mhm.
a number of. I think it's a nice lore choice, and I really love the variability of cosmology.
Right.
But as you'll see on the next entry, I don't see anybody ever, not the way things are pointed now, ever taking a druid.
Okay.
You can pay for that wonderful bound spell for 30 points.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can pay 30 points for that, or I can pay 50 points and get a real spell. The
Ring of Fire thing.
yeah.
Or spell up here, yeah.
Right. So then you have your apprentice, your magic items allowance, which is normal. Put them on a horse for 40, Forest Eagle for 70, Unicorn for 80. Unicorns, you'll see, gives magic resistance. Or you can put it on a dragon. And once again, characters mounted on horses, unicorns, Forest Eagles count towards fleet of foot.
They're really worried about you
Yes.
putting characters on mounts, aren't they?
Yeah, and I understand when you had the Purple Sundays.
Yep.
But that magic doesn't exist anymore for mages. So
Right.
yeah.
Memories. All right.
Yeah, I think a number of armies suffer from that.
So Elven mounts, you have the Elven Horse, movement 9, normal horse stats, except he's initiative 4.
Yes.
He's got mounts protection 5, which is good.
Yeah, so he
That's
comes
actually
with
really
barding.
good.
That's nice.
Comes with barding without being slowed down, and
Yes.
Force Strider.
And unlike the Dread Elves, he does not have light troops. He's fast cap.
That's a good point. He doesn't,
Yes.
does he? Goblin Wolf has that too.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yes, I know.
Mm.
So yeah, another, I think, overcomp. The only way you can get it is take the one guy who's frenzied.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay.
Brings us to the Great Elk, which is arguably the best mount that they have. Counts as fleet of foot again. Movement 8, weapon
Wow.
skill 4,
Okay.
strength 4, toughness 5, 1 wound, initiative 4, 2 attacks.
T5 is
doesn't
really
matter.
nice.
T5, it's only got 1 wound, but the rider's got 3, so
Right.
he gets 3 wound. Mouse protection 6, and he gets 4 strider. So
Okay.
this makes
So
your
you're losing a point of mounts protection, but you're gaining 2 toughness.
correct.
Yeah, that's really nice.
So, and the armor can help you with
Mhm.
with the rest of it, the cloaks and everything. So it makes you have a character that can live a little bit.
Okay.
The challenge is you can't take too many of these because you won't have any points left to take guys to ride with.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah.
Next we bring up the Unicorn. Movement 10, weapon skill 5,
Yeah.
2 attacks at strength 4. It does have Thunder's Charge.
Yes. Zunheit.
Thank you. Mounts protection 6, Strider Forest. It's got magic attacks, magic resistance 2. And again, like I said, the Thunderous Charge. So
Right.
he's strength 5 on the
On
charge.
charge.
Okay. I kind of like this guy.
Unicorns are unicorns. You never see them on the game table. And they've been trying to figure out what to make it work. The thing is, they're never going to be seen on the game table because you don't want your mages in close combat.
Right.
They
And
they
the
cost
Unicorn
too
is
many
a close
points.
combat beast.
And it's a close combat beast. So
Right.
if they want to see unicorns on the table, the best way to do that would be to have it as a single model
Right.
that did its own thing, or to give an ability more than just MR2 that that made it worth putting your mage on it.
Okay.
Give you a plus to your casting or something, but not making it a fighty thing.
Right.
That doesn't really help. Forest Eagle used to be the great
Hawk.
mount in years gone by. Mounts counts towards fleet of foot and characters. Okay. On the ground, it's 2. It flies 9. Weapon skill 5. Strength 4. Toughness 4. 3 wounds. 4 initiative. Only 2 attacks. 8 leadership. Basically, old 8th edition stat line. Mounts protection 6. Flies 9, which is above. and Forest Strider.
Okay, so your eagle doesn't pay for forest. That's good.
Yeah. As a mount,
Yeah.
you probably want the elk.
Probably what?
You probably want the elk.
Yeah, it's going to give you a point of toughness, 1 point.
You're gonna get the point of toughness, and since none of the not the aspects, none of the upgrades for characters allow for the eagle to get any bonuses. So,
okay.
Yeah, there's no flying, combination. I don't think you'll see them right now.
That brings us to the dragon. Mountain Strider counts for characters and forest giants. That's fine. All monsters need to count.
Mm-hmm.
Fly 7, weapon skill 5. Oh, its ballistic skill really bad.
Yeah.
Strength and toughness and wounds are all 6. 3 initiative, 5 attacks, leadership 9.
Yes.
Why is this important?
Leadership 9.
Yeah. Why are leadership importance on mounts?
Oh.
Anyway, innate defense 3, fly 7, forest strider, strength 4, flaming breath weapon. Okay. Nice dragon.
It's got ballistic skill 1.
Yeah. That means nothing.
Yeah.
Again, stats that don't matter.
Yeah.
Mount stats. Why they don't need leaderships.
Yeah. Anyway. It's your average dragon.
Yep. It's a normal dragon.
Yeah. It's just you can only have one, and there's nothing else really in the army to support it. So.
Okay.
If you want a dragon, I suppose. Okay, brings us the next character, the Tree Father Ancient. Counts as a character and forest giants, 0 to 2 in the army. You have 2 flavors. You have this basic Ancient, which is movement 5, weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 4, strength 5, toughness 6, 6 wounds, 2 initiative, 3 attacks, 9. It's on a 75 wide by 50 base. So
it's wider than deep.
Yeah,
this
is because of what GW did in 8th edition. It wasn't for years. It was on the 50 by 50, and then they came out with that new one.
Right, the bigger one.
Yeah. So innate defense 3, forest walker, so it can walk through the woods. Otherworldly, basically. So it's got a 5 upward save.
Okay.
And ITP. It's flammable. It's got the crush attack. Stubborn, which is nice on a 9.
Really nice.
Impaling roots, which is the shooting attack that we mentioned before, and it comes with its own tree singing spell.
Oh, look at that!
Yay!
It's a 30-point bonus right there.
Yeah. Now the Avatar of Nature has the same, but it's more of a fighty guy. It's got movement of 5, weapon skill of 6, ballistic skill of 5, so that little shooty attack's better. Strength of 7. Toughness of 6, wounds of 6, initiative 3, 6 attacks, and 9 also.
Okay.
So it's much fighting.
Much fighting.
The ancient isn't fighty at all.
No.
3 attacks, strength 5 is not
right.
anything to be scared about. You're hoping you can get a stomp to keep it from. You're going to be using the stubborn lot.
It gets the thunder stomp, right?
Yes.
Okay.
As I said, you're hoping you're going to use the stomp. You're not running against cavalry or something. Okay. Now when you have 2 choices. You have the Tree Father Ancient at 480 points. He can take an aspect of nature from the ones we talked before with no limit.
Mm-hmm.
He can become a Wizard Apprentice at 80 points, a Wizard Master at 150. Can take an arcane item for a wizard up to 100 items, and he can take between 1 and 4 spells.
Okay.
I don't get why anyone would I don't get why anyone would take this figure.
Really? I see him fairly often.
Yeah, I think that when we get to the actual Tree Fathers, they're just so close. They're better for so much cheap. He's just so expensive.
The Avatar of Nature, you mean?
No, even the Tree Father Ancient. You're paying that for 3 strength 5 attacks, right?
Right.
Now you start putting magic points into him.
Yeah, it gets expensive.
He gets very expensive, and you're not too happy if you're not going to put a lot of dice on it because you're going down the hole.
Yeah, he's tough enough to ignore most of that, though.
The lower level stuff he is. He can't resist going. He can't resist the big rolls.
Even if you're doing 4 dice on a spell, those are wounding you on 6s.
Yeah.
So
it's the 5 ones that you have to worry about.
Yeah, you're not. You're not using 5 dice.
You can't
no one
do that.
uses 5 dice.
Yeah. So you can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just. Now he gets.
I don't know. I don't think that's a problem.
He gets Druidism and Divination, and Divination's a nice
Druidism's a good combo with him because he
Yeah.
can keep raising wounds.
Right. I think it's a problem because you start putting all the points together. You got 150
Yeah,
plus
I
480 plus 100 plus another you know,
So he's
150.
got 4 spells. So you're adding 300 to this cost. Now he's 780.
And you're probably
If
going
he takes a magic item, now he's over 800.
Yes.
Yeah. It's pricey.
It's a lot of points. Then you have the Avatar of Nature. He can take a single aspect. You can only have one of them in the army. He's 750 points.
Right.
Which is rather insane for something that can't do, for a character that can't take any items.
Yeah. 6 attacks. He's pretty good, though.
He is good. He's just not 750 points good
No.
compared to because he's basically a monster.
Yeah, I'm looking at comparing the monster. My monster is, 480?
Yes.
This guy will eat me, but anyway. Okay.
Yeah, he just costs too much.
All right. The Dryad Matriarch.
Yes.
For 110 points.
Mm-hmm.
That's fairly cheap.
It's a hero cost, but
Movement 5, weapon skill 6, ballistic skill 6, strength 4, tough 4, wounds 3, 7 initiative,
Yes,
fast, 3
very fast.
attacks, 9 leadership.
Mhm.
Wow. Forest Walker, otherworldly, hatred, single aspect of nature up to 100 points, bound spell tree singing, become a wizard of so you can make him a wizard apprentice, and that makes him up to 180
yes,
with a spell. So he's the cost of a normal caster,
yes,
but he's tougher, stronger,
correct.
so he's much better.
Right. The
But
limit.
he's a dryad.
He's a dryad. You can't take any items,
You can't take any magic items.
including you can't take his scrolls or anything with
Right.
him.
And you're
And you can only push him up to level 2 spells, and
Right.
you can't make him a master or make her a master.
correct. And it's stuck in a unit of dryads.
Yeah,
Because
because
it's infantry 25.
correct. Now, if you're going to take a mage in the Sylvan Age,
Right? This is the way you go.
I think you go with this. Yeah,
Okay.
because she's a little more resilient. She can defend herself to a certain degree. I mean, she's still only toughness 4 with 5 up save, but but certainly, and it's not going to be as expensive as the other mages or
Right.
as that Tree Father Ancient.
Yeah, definitely not that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brings us to the Thicket Shepherd, which is basically the monstrous guys, the guys in the middle. They only have 0 to 2 in the army. Kind of makes me a little sad.
Okay.
Movement 5, weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 4, strength 5, toughness 5, wounds 4, initiative 4, attacks 4.
A lot of 4s and 5s in there.
Yeah, leadership 9, innate defense 4, so 4 up armor. Forest Walker, otherworldly, so 5 up ward. Flammable, armor piercing 1, and Bolden Burrows, special rule. Units with more than half of their models with the special rule have a stubborn, while more than half of the unit's footprint is within the forest. Basically, if you're in the woods and
You get
and this
stubborn.
guy's alive, you get stubborn.
Okay.
And you can take a single aspect of nature, no magic items.
No magic items. That's what kind of hurts this.
Yeah, I
But-
mean,
260 points. You're getting a 4 up armor and a 5 up ward
yes,
built in.
yeah.
That's kind of nice.
I kind of like him.
I think he's priced okay.
I think he,
Unless
compared to
maybe
those,
a little low.
compared to the Tree Father Ancient, yeah.
Right. Okay.
So I mean, I wish you could take a few more of them. I do wish the aspects had more things like strength or things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be nice to
Things of that nature.
nature
Aspect of nature had more to do with nature.
Exactly.
Okay. Nice.
Brings us to core.
Core, Force Guard. 180 points for 15 models. Add up to 35 more at 16 points apiece.
Yes.
What are they? 13 for the initial ones? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
No, not even. Anyway. I don't know. What's that come out to? My head hurts.
10 and 30, 12 points each.
12 points each.
Yeah.
Thank you. Not even. I don't know. 120 and 25 is 145. No, not 12 points each. More than that. Anyway, I don't care. My head hurts too much. Not doing it. Anyway, 5/5, ballistic movement 5, weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 4, strength 3, tough 3, 1 wound. So it's a standard elf stat line.
Except for the weapon skill.
Except for the weapon skill 5. Normal
Yes.
elves are 4s.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, this is a rare weapon skill 5 unit
In core.
In core.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
20 mil bases, light armor, shield. Come with spears. They get Force Walker, lightning reflexes. They're a scoring unit.
Mm-hmm.
They can trade their spear and shield for Elven Cloak and Sylvan Blades
Right.
for 2 points a model. So +1 armor brings you down to 4, and Sylvan Blades gives you the extra attack with AP1, right?
You're trading the spear. You're still at 5.
Oh, because your spear goes for shield.
Yes.
So you still got a 5.
Stay at 5.
So you're 5. But you've got an extra attack.
You're getting extra attack, an extra initiative because it's
Yeah, good point.
paired weapons, and then you get the AP.
And you get the AP.
So when you're playing, MSU, it's a nice choice to go with.
Okay.
If you're playing, brick, you're going to go with the
Yeah,
spears.
Brick's going to spear and shield.
So I'm glad they added this because for people that had the older models, like myself, you kind of like to see the old Sirath come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a nice unit.
For a core spear unit, it's a nice unit.
A weapon skill 5 core unit.
Yes,
It's really nice.
It's very nice. Other elves are jealous. Brings us to what I would always consider the old core of the army,
Right.
which no longer is. The Sylvan Archers, 260 points for 10 models. Can add up to 20 for 24 points per models. Here's the problem. Counts towards both core and unseen arrows.
Right.
So movement 5, weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 4, strength 3, toughness 3, 1 wound, 5 initiative, 1 attack, 8 leadership. Usual normal elf stats. They come with the black arrows. Those are the strength 4 at short range and
Armor
AP1 at long range, right?
AP.
Force Walker, lightning reflex scoring. And their upgrades are normal, standard, plus they can have the veteran standard bearer. This is a nice unit.
Yep.
As far, so it's a solid core unit. The challenge is the unseen arrows limitation.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Heath Riders for 180. 5 models may add up to 10 models for 34 points apiece.
Right.
Unit counts both towards core and fleet of foot.
Yes. So it counts in the cavalry category,
Right.
even though it's in core.
The rider is a normal elf.
Yes.
All the way across the board. Horse is a movement 9 elven steed.
Yep.
4 initiative. Comes with mounts protection 6, light armor, shield. So he's a 4-up armor. He's got a Sylvan Lance, which is the light lance
AP1,
that's AP1. Forest Walker, lightning reflexes, scoring. Can exchange shield and scoring for longbow and fast cav.
Yes.
Free.
Yes.
So you drop your
Becomes armor
5
5,
up armor,
and you get that.
you get a longbow instead of your shield.
Yes.
Okay, and you lose
with
your
no,
score.
with no special arrows.
Okay. Okay. And you can ambush. Oh, if you've done
that,
if you've done this for free, then you can also
you can then
ambush for 4 points.
For 4 points. Yes.
Okay. They upgrade 1 or more models to each of the following standard champions costs.
Right. And there's no veteran standard on this thing.
Okay. Okay. It's a fast cav unit.
It's an expensive fast cab unit that you'll never see on the table.
180. You don't think so?
Because it's counting towards the fleet of foot.
Oh,
If it was in core, okay, you'd see it.
right.
But because it's competing with all your other fast cap choices, which are better,
Right. You're not going to see
in
it.
almost in all categories, you're never going to see this unit.
Okay.
Unless somebody just doesn't have the other models.
Um,
They didn't even need to put 0 to 3. They could put 0. Brings us to
A little
Dryads.
stronger on that unit, don't
Well, I mean, to me, I think all the Elven light cav have a problem because they're so expensive
you? Right, because you're elves.
because they're elves, but you don't, they become very expensive chaff
Right.
as chaff goes. So you don't necessarily want to use them that way, but you're kind of forced to, especially if you have other things that use as chaff, like eagles.
Right.
So it doesn't fit that role. Everything else shoots better than this thing, and then everything else fights better. So
What role does it have?
what role does it have? It's not good at anything, and
Right.
it costs you a decent amount of points.
Okay.
It would have had it going for it before. It was in core at least, so you could fill out
So you
your
could fill
core
your
and
core with these
pad out
guys.
your cavalry. You can't do that anymore. So
Okay.
brings us to Dryads.
Dryads.
170 points for 8. The may add up to 22 models for 24 points each.
Okay.
Movement
8's
5.
an odd number.
This is a old 8th edition thing because the old models used to come in boxes of 8 from GW.
Really?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I suspect that'll change when they redo the book too. The
Yeah.
movement 5, weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 4. Now that you can take that one item, that ballistic skill 4 matters. The strength 4,
correct.
yeah,
One that
toughness
gives you a
4,
shooting attack.
right. 1 wound, initiative 5 like an elf, 2 attacks, leadership 8. So this is a very solid core unit.
Yeah, I like this.
It only has one problem, which we'll get to. Forest Walker, otherworldly, scoring. May gain skirmishers and lose scoring. Fine with
Free.
that.
Okay.
And it's free as it should be. May upgrade one model to a champion. Okay. If you upgrade to skirmisher, you can have 15. You don't have any command options
No
unless
musician,
you take that.
no.
Right.
No band.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And so it makes this unit rigid. And you don't think of forest spirits being
Oh.
lacking maneuverability, right?
Correct.
You
No
know.
musician means no swift reform.
Exactly.
Mm,
Exactly. So
yeah.
they used to have
that's
that
actually pretty
option, and I think if they fix that, or they made them light troops, one of the two,
bad. Right.
you know, they wouldn't get the rank bonus, but that'd be okay. It would fit from a fluff perspective better. Don't get me wrong, if you're going to put them as a core infantry unit, it's meant to be a battle line. There's nothing
Yeah, they're
wrong.
really good.
This has got a really good stat line.
Yeah.
You
but the
know,
lack
four,
of the
four
musician-
toughness with a 5 upward save is nice. Yeah, but the lack of musician is problematic for maneuverability.
All right. Well, moving
Now
on to special.
It's special.
Forest Rangers for 10 models for 230.
Yes,
And you can add up
these
to
have-
20 more for 23 points.
They've made these pretty cheap.
You can only have up to 5 of these.
Yes, 5 units.
5 units.
They-
5 units
As opposed to
of-
5
5
models.
units of 30.
yes.
So, standard elf, except you get an extra weapon skill and an extra attack. An extra leadership. Leadership 9 units.
Yes.
That's actually really good.
Yeah.
A leadership 9 unit.
Mhm.
They come with great weapons. They have light armor and elven cloak for 5 up armor. Forest Walker, lightning reflexes. They have AP1.
It's a special rule, yes.
That's nice. They have immune to psychology. Bites both ways. Bodyguard and scoring. Champion musician standard rare magic standard. So these are kind of the elven sword masters, right?
These are the discount sword
Syl-
masters.
The Sylvan Elf sword masters. You're down a strength. You're down a weapon skill. You're down initiative on the sword masters.
Don't have the +1 to
Plus
hit
1 to
thing,
hit. So you're down in 3 categories and minus the +1 to hit.
but you get AP.
But you get AP1. Okay. I like this unit. Looks good. They're
It's-
cheaper than the.
They've made them cheaper so people would take them.
Yep.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the unit.
Why wouldn't you take these? They look nice.
They are. I think now they don't count towards any of the other categories like a lot of the other
Right.
things. It's just best of what you're trying to do. The problem with this army is you'll see, unless you take a tree father, there's no strength 6 in it.
Oh, okay.
And unless you take a tree father or you take characters, and it makes you take characters to deal with heavy armor and to deal with heavy high toughness.
We got those AP3 armor bows to take care of that.
Yeah, okay. Tell me how much Rock thinks about that. And yeah, and this would seem to be the unit that could have filled that role, but it's not quite strong enough, or it doesn't have a special rule to help it with monsters.
What do you want? Bump them to strength 6?
I would actually make them, strength 4, or I'd give them multi-wound against anything.
Yeah, but then you got to bump the cost on them.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'd rather pay a little bit more for these guys and have a few units than having to pay 800 points for a character
Right.
that gets shot off the table.
Yeah.
It's just I like to have I don't like an army that says, unless I'm playing vampires, that I have to have characters to deal with things.
Right.
Right. I want this to be a game
You want
of
the
units.
Correct. Not
That I can
characters.
build an army with a
Right.
general and whatever, and not have to build fighty characters.
Okay. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that.
So nothing wrong with the unit. I think it's a good unit, generally speaking. 2 attacks, strength 5, nothing to sneeze at.
No.
with a decent weapon skill.
Initiative 5,
it's elite
good
weapon skill.
elite weapon skill.
I mean, it's not Swordmaster weapon skill, but it's
No.
but it's a good weapon skill. They wouldn't want to run into Swordmasters, but the
Yeah, your initiative is lower.
yeah, but
It's a bad thing.
and a number of Red Elf units, but because they're not that well protected, it's just that's my only thing with them. I hope they take that in a slightly different direction, but generally speaking, I think if you're trying to build block infantry, but then again, why are you doing Sylvan Elves if you're building block infantry?
Right. Sylvan Elves are not block infantry.
Yeah, it's not what you think of. You think of I'm gonna do Highborn Elves then,
Right.
So yeah, that's my thing with them.
All right. Thicket Beast.
Thicket Beast, 230 points for 3 models, may add up to 3 models for 85 points, so you can bring them up to 6 models.
Didn't these used to be able to be bigger?
They did, and this is a case where, because of that upgrade, they
Right.
shrunk them down. They didn't need to shrink down the regular guys because of that,
Okay.
to me, in my opinion, but whatever. Movement 5 again, so as Monster Infantry, they're a little slow. Weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 4, strength 4, toughness 5, 3 wounds, 3 initiative, 3 attacks, 8 leadership, an 8 defense 4, Forest Walker, so they're a 4 up, 5 up
Okay.
because of otherworldly. They're scoring, they are flammable. They have AP1. They have Bodyguard if they have a Thicket Shepherd attached to them.
Okay.
And they can get a champion. Another unit that cannot get any musician,
Right.
which makes maneuvering them problematic.
Yeah, I guess.
Because if you wanted to play them like MSU 3 units, you want to be able to get around, and you just can't. Emboldened Bows, which is the upgrade we talked about before, a unit with more than half its models with their special rule have the stubborn while more than half the models. So if you can get them in the forest, you can be stubborn basically.
Okay.
Or if you can just get a Thicket Shepherd in there, they're stubborn too. So
It's a nice monstrous infantry unit, though.
it is a nice monster infantry unit. My only complaint is a lack of command.
And there's no other. I mean, they don't have what most of the other monstrous infantry you see around now have, and that's options for weapons.
Yes.
They don't have the paired weapons option, so now their initiative, despite being 3, is going to be behind a lot of other.
Correct.
Not
correct.
A lot,
they're
but
going
behind
yes.
some monsters infantry.
But they're tough and they're well. I mean, they're tough. They're well protected. That's compared to most monstrous infantry.
They are.
So that's their
4
shtick.
up armor, 5 up ward.
And it's a good shtick. You have the one unit you can upgrade if you want to pay the points.
To strength 5.
To strength 5, which just makes them, very good monsters. The unit's kind of small, so it's not. It's going to be a support unit anyway.
Right.
It's nice if it was a little bit more maneuver for an army that talks about being maneuverable. You would hope they would be more maneuverable.
Yeah, movement 5 is a little slow.
Yeah, it's not the 5 as much as the lack of because the elves are all
And
5. It's the lack of musician.
Right.
The way the musician.
But I mean,
works.
most monsters infantry is 6.
Yes.
I mean, they're one of the few monsters.
Correct.
infantry
They're
that's only 5.
slow in that context, but the infantry is
Right.
all 5 generally
Okay.
speaking. So it's just if it. I'd rather have the musician than a movement 6.
Right.
Yeah.
Brings us to the Forest Eagle.
Breast meat.
This is your what's called bait.
Yes.
You're only allowed 2 of these because otherwise the world becomes depopulated and we have no more forest eagles.
Exactly.
Or eagles of any sort.
Yes.
Elves are only allowed to sacrifice 2 per battle, I guess.
Yes, that's what it is.
100 points for 1 model and can add up to 4 more for 60 apiece. I've never seen these in anything, but I guess I have once.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah, you saw a guy that fielded them in units of 3 once.
Yeah, in this army, I wouldn't see the point of it because
Yeah.
you have the other guys.
Right. Strider, Forest, Fly 9, Weapon Skill 5, Strength 4, Tough 4, Wounds 3, 4 initiative.
Same
2
as a mount.
attacks. Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Okay. He's a nice piece of chaff.
He's a nice picture. I kind of missed. They actually had an option before for lightning reflex and armor piercing. A lot of people didn't take it. I took it. I just kind of liked it because
Right.
when you went after a war machine, it kind of made a difference.
Yep.
So
All right.
brings us to the fleet of foot. So this is basically the quick category. So this includes all those fast things that we talked about before, all the mounted characters.
Right.
So and the Glade Riders. So first we have the Blade Dancers. 320 points for 8 models.
40 apiece.
40 apiece. I think that's the most expensive infantry in the game.
Well, they're so well protected. They
Yes. You can add an additional 7 models, so you can have up to 15 for 30
should
points
be.
per
Those ones
model.
cost 30 each.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can have 3 units of them. Movement 5, weapon skill 6.
Okay, that's really elite.
It is very elite. Ballistic skill 4, strength 4.
Strength 4
so
base,
bonus
that's
4, yes.
nice.
Toughness 3, 1 wound, initiative 5, standard elf initiative, 1 attack, and leadership 8. So they don't have elite leadership.
Okay.
They have Sylvan Blades, so they'll get a +1 initiative because of that, and plus an extra attack. So they basically have 2 attacks.
2 attacks
AP
each
1.
is strength 4, AP 1.
Yeah, depending on which dance that they have. Forest Walker and Lightning Reflexes. So usual stuff there. They have light troops,
Okay.
so they don't get basically ranks,
Right.
but they can maneuver like skirmishers.
Okay.
Hard
but
target.
they're no longer skirmishers.
Correct. They are no longer skirmishers.
Okay.
And I guess they introduced that so these fighty
they can
guys wouldn't have to
squeeze
spread
together,
out. Yeah. I see people complain about that. I don't mind that. I kind of like that little differentiation. Hard target, so they're a little harder to hit.
Okay, that makes up for the skirmish. Loss of the skirmish.
Right, so it's goes up. Immune to psychologists, they can't run away.
Okay.
Ward save 6, whatever. MR1, okay. Scoring.
Okay.
Scoring was kind of surprised on this unit, but
Yep.
some people say if we take away the scoring, can we get them cheaper? And I suspect it won't change the points, but they just need to fix the
Well,
points.
we'll drop it down by 1
Yeah,
per model.
yeah. Now they'll do it by half, and they'll have to double the points again, so they can.
We'll drop the unit down to 310, and
Yeah.
the next models are 29 points apiece.
There you
There you go.
Or 31.
Does that make you happy?
Yeah. Upgrade, they can have a champion, a musician, a
Standard.
standard bearer, and they can take a magical stand up to 100. Then they have the dances of Saren. The thing about the dances of Saren is you can, at the beginning of a close combat round, you pick one of them. You can never use the same dance in 2 consecutive player turns.
This has always been written fairly confusing.
Yeah, it has.
It's not really clear.
Yeah, well, they fixed it before because at one point the way it was written, it was per rounds of combat. So if you started a new combat, you could start over
In
again.
the same round.
Yeah, yeah. But so now it's
2 consecutive player turns. Okay.
yes. So you pick one of these. First one is +1 attack, which is a well used one, so it'll get you up to 3 attacks.
Okay.
Next one that everyone talks about, they always say that this unit has a 3-up ward save. It only has
It does.
It only has a 3-up ward save in every other melee, and not when it's out in the open. So you get a 3-up ward save, but you're -1 strength, and you don't get armor piercing.
Whoa. Okay.
So, but it makes you basically survivable.
Right.
I remember the last
As long
time I
as you
used
can
this.
roll more than 2
Yes.
1s and 2s.
Yeah, I remember I used this. The last time I used this unit, I did that, and I lost my entire unit.
Yeah, you charged one of my units in the rear.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you didn't decide not to roll anything better than a 2.
Yeah, these things happen. Then you have the Dance of Bedevilments. You cause fear. Enemies in base contact with the model do not receive rank bonus to their core combat score.
Okay.
Sounds good.
It is.
Disarming delusions. Enemy units in base contact with the model cannot use parry.
Okay. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, you're hitting guys on 3s anyway. So
Yeah, the practicality is, and that's if you're hitting them from the front. Yeah, I think
you're going to split between these first
the
2.
first 2 are the ones you're using all the time.
Right. Unless you're
Unless you happen to be hitting somebody in
on the flank
in
and
the
you're helping
flank,
somebody else.
and you're helping some big block of guys.
Right.
It's very tough. Then
Then you might go to the Dance of the Bedevilments.
yes,
But
yes.
I think I always see it alternating between the top
Correct.
2.
So I mean, it's not worth paying the extra points for these 2. I'd rather they drop those and drop the points. But yeah, this is a great unit. I think it's overcosted now. I think you still see it because the army needs it so badly. It's because it's got fighting ability. But it's a nice unit in the army.
Okay. I like it. I see it all the time.
Yeah,
At least 1 unit.
yeah.
It brings us to the Wild Huntsman.
Yes.
290 for 5 models. May add up to 7 models at 56 points a model.
Yep.
They're
not cheap.
The Riders, weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 3, strength 4. That's
Strength 4.
nice. Initiative 5, another leadership 9 unit.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is why
It's
it's
kind of
weird that the Blade
reinforcing
Dancers are
outside
not.
the bubble thing.
Yeah.
And the Blade Dancers are not, but they were immune to psychology, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Doesn't help you on break tests.
Yeah. These guys are immune to psychology also.
Okay. Mounts protection 6. Cav are not movement. Elven Deer
Yes.
are movement 9. Strength 4. Initiative
Yes.
4. Okay. That's nice.
Yeah.
Mounts protection 6. Light armor.
So 5 up.
5 up.
Sylvan Lance.
Sylvan Lance, so strength 4, I mean, strength on the
Strength
charge,
5.
strength 5, AP 1.
Correct.
Forest Walker, lightning reflex, light troops, frenzy, so
Yes,
add another attack.
So now you're 3 attacks.
Devastating a charge,
And
add a
2
third
attacks
attack.
for your mount. Yes.
So now you've got 3 attacks. Yeah, the deer is frenzied as well, so
Yes.
extra attack there. So 3 strength 5 attacks on the charge at
Yes.
AP3, at AP1.
AP1.
So
So
minus
basically
3 armor
AP2.
save.
AP3. Yes, mine's AP.
Minus 3
Minus
to
3,
save.
yes.
And frenzy on the deer, so he gets 2 strength 4 attacks.
Correct.
So you're putting out 3 strength 5, 2 strength 4 attacks per model.
Yep, from the front
Wow,
rank.
that's pretty
You
nice.
can get the charge off, yes.
Yep. May take
These are the ultimate glass cannon unit.
may take one of the following, one choice only. Shield for 6 points a model. You can exchange your Sylvan Lance for Sylvan Blades, so get an extra attack at a higher initiative.
Yeah, a lot of people badmouth this, but I actually think it's a nice option.
An extra attack. You still have AP. You're just dropping
Yes.
down to strength.
You're losing your
4,
strength, but you're gaining an attack.
but you're gaining an attack. You still get your AP. That's
Yeah.
actually not terrible.
No, it's not.
May upgrade one model each of the
I
following.
mean, you're not going to fight heavy cav with it, but
No.
you know, a lot of other things we're just putting out so many attacks.
You need the Sylvan Lance for the heavy cav.
Yeah.
But this brings you up to what, 4 attacks?
Yeah, basically.
rider?
When you're charging, if you get charged, you're getting 3. So
Right.
you know,
Yeah, that's actually really
Yeah.
good. I mean, it's only strength 4, but
right.
anyway.
But against
okay.
lighter troops and stuff,
Yeah.
or even just infantry, it'll help you eat through them.
Chew through them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you are 5 up armor.
Yes.
6 up ward.
Yeah, for 56
Ooh.
points a model.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal. Nothing to stop you from help you from shooting.
Yeah.
Ooh. Every little shot that slips through is doing 56
Oh yeah.
points.
And magic missiles hurt him a lot.
Ooh.
I mean, I still prefer the shield option with the lance myself, but
Yeah, these are pricey for what they're doing.
well, putting out a huge amount of damage. They're just really fragile, and
58 points a model.
and
for the original.
and the frenzy is what kills you because they're
You
easy
get
to
drawn
bank around.
off,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're easy to draw off.
You are leadership 9, so you
Yeah.
can resist it.
Well, it's more that people just put stuff in front of
Right.
you, and you
You
can't
either
just clear
charge
it
it or walk away.
because if you clear it, then you're going to be running out and exposing
Correct.
your flank probably. So
Yep.
I think that is the challenge with these guys, and why maybe you see less of them than you used to, and why you see more of the blade dancers. They're a little
Yeah.
more reliable,
Yeah, I do see these guys still, though.
but
This
you
is
still
nice
see them
unit.
because they still hit hard, and people are afraid of them,
Yeah, I'm afraid of them.
and they should be. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
I think it's got good rolls. It's got limited. It's a nice design because it's got weaknesses and it's got strengths. So
Right.
I like that in a unit. Brings us to the Kestrel Knights. 295 points for 3 models. May add up to
Are
3
they
more.
sparrows?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Big hawks. Yeah, but they look like sparrows in the drawing. The old GW models look like a sparrow too. I got the older ones that look like mini eagles.
Okay.
Out of 3 at 80 points per model. So it's 40.
Rider's strength 4.
Yeah. 0 to 3 units. His weapon skill 5.
Okay.
So he's got, elite weapon skill.
Mm-hmm.
Ballistic skill 4, whatever. Strength 4, which is a bonus. Toughness 3, wounds 1, initiative 5, 1 attack. Leadership 9 again.
Another leadership 9
Yeah.
unit.
The
A lot
Kestrel,
of these.
which is the hawk, is flies 9, which is all that really matters.
Okay.
Weapon skill is also 5. It's got strength and toughness of 4. So
Okay.
it's a toughness
So it brings
4
your
unit,
toughness
which
up
you
to
don't
model.
have. The other mounted guys are not. Initiative is down to 4. It's got 2 wounds
Okay.
and kind of like the Pegasus guys,
Mhm.
2 attacks.
Okay.
So you see these are 40 points for additional guys. That's why you don't see, I think, units of eagles because
Oh.
they're pointed about the same, but you get all these extra attacks. So, because
Okay.
you get the rider, right? Okay, you have mouse protection 6. You have light armor. Rider has a longbow, which is kind of whatever. Sylvan Lance again, so strength 5, AP 1. Forest Walker, lightning reflexes, so he can fly through the woods. Devastating charge, so he gets a +1 attack on the charge.
Okay.
Fast cavalry, fly, armor piercing, skirmishers. It's a plus and a minus because it makes them harder to hit, which is good, but because
Mhm.
they don't close up, they spread out a bit.
Yeah, if you're always running 3, then you're probably getting them in.
Depends what you're attacking. If you're attacking
Right.
somebody in the flank, you're probably only getting 2 in. So you're not going to attack anything that's deep in the flank.
Right.
You're going to be
Correct.
going at things that you can
You
actually.
don't want to go after something. You're not going to go after a big unit.
That you're going to get stuck on because you're going to die. So
Right.
you usually only get 2 guys in contact.
So they have 5 up armor.
Okay, they can trade their longbow for a shield, which is an automatic. For 4 points per
4
model.
points a model, so now that brings you to
Because
4 up.
who cares about 3 strength, 3 shots? I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, to me, they should just give them that for free because it doesn't really matter.
So you're paying more points a model. Okay.
Then you get to your command options, and they can take a magic standard up to 50 points, not 100.
Okay.
Which I don't understand that limitation, but
Yeah, it's kind of odd.
yeah.
Devastating charge, so an extra attack on the charge. So you get 2 attacks on the charge.
Yes.
Okay. 2 strength, Sylvan Lance. 2 strength, 5 armor, AP2, AP1.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is a neat
It's
unit.
a nice little unit.
Yeah. This is one of the other unit.
Pricey at almost 100 points a model
Yeah,
for the originals. But actually, it's over 100 if you do the shield option
it is. They're very expensive.
for the first ones.
Yeah. And you're not going to probably buy any more because they're skirmish. I mean,
Right.
What's the point? I do think, as I said, I mentioned there's not enough strength 6 in the army.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't give it to the other guys, this is the other unit that
The
I'd
other
give
unit
it
to give it to.
One of the 2 units I think you give it to. As
Yeah,
far
but you
as-
don't want to make these guys strength 5 base.
No, I'd give them a lance. Instead
Oh,
of a-
full lance rather
yeah,
than
just-
Sylvan
right,
Lance.
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So then they don't get that AP one afterwards. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that. Gives us the Briar Maiden.
Yes.
Briar Maidens. 5 models can add up to 5 more for 42 apiece. 0 to 2 per army. The Rider. Movement 5, weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 5. He's a good shooting guy.
Yes.
3, 3, 1, 5. Okay, the rest is elf. The bonus is the ballistic skill with these guys. He's riding an Elven Deer.
Yep. Another Elven Deer. Strength 4.
Yep, strength 4.
Initiative 4.
No, not tough 4 though. Strength 4
no.
only.
The other one wasn't. They're all
Yeah.
except for 3.
Mounts protection 6.
Yes.
Weapon is a poison thorn, which is a shooting weapon with the following profile: 12-inch range, strength 3, quick to fire, AP 1, poison
Right.
attacks. Okay, so it's a throwing weapon,
Wait,
shooting weapon.
It's a shooting. It's not throwing weapon because you only get ready to fire one.
Okay. Forest Walker, lightning reflexes. Your light troops. Oh, okay. 4 up ward save. These are the whatever they're called for the Dark Elves.
Yes.
4 up ward save guys. So you got a 6 up armor, 4 up ward.
Right. And poison attacks.
And poison attacks. But
Shooting
you
and
don't
close
have the
combat.
strength on charge like the other guys do. The Dark Elves guys do.
Correct. These guys
You're
are
only strength 3.
These guys are not. These guys are not close combat.
No.
As close combat as they are.
Champion costs 120 because that gives you the Wizard Conclave.
Correct.
Musician and the Standard Bearer and a Magic Standard.
And they can take a 100-point magic standard.
They get Master of Earth and Break
Druidism,
the Spirit.
from shamanism.
Okay. It's not bad.
This is a wonderful unit.
Yeah. If you're doing replacing a spellcaster.
You don't. Well, if you're going to take spellcasters, you're probably smarter taking this than bothering with the other ones. But with the Wizard Conclave is a great build. Even without the Wizard Conclave, it's a 4 up ward save.
Right.
It's fast. It's got a shooting ability, which is not fantastic, but it's also not one that you want to necessarily ignore. It's hitting on 2s most of the time.
Yeah.
So and you can mess with monsters and things of that nature, as you've probably seen with the other guys, just because you're 4 up ward save, and then the poison helps you with that type of fighting.
Good point. Looks
So,
nice.
So why would you take the Glade Riders when you have this for shooting and you have the other one and the Wild Huntsman for combat? That's kind of the problem.
Okay.
That brings us to the Unseen Arrows category. So, as you saw before, just the regular archers and the characters with missile weapons also count against this category.
Yeah, I'm not thrilled with that.
Yeah.
35% looks big until you start talking about putting a 500-point character into that.
Well, think about if you spend all your character points.
What do
and
you
they
mean?
all have
Oh,
that
and they
ability.
all have it. I'm just saying
You
one
can't have any units that have shooting. You know, it's the same
point.
problem with the other category. If you
Fleet of foot.
you put all your characters, you have no units that have it. So it's they need to rethink this. I mean, it's
Okay.
better than it was, but it's a big problem. Sylvan Sentinels, uh, 0 to 2 units per army. 0 to 1 units if the army includes 2 or more units of Pathfinders. I think this is them trying to limit skirmishers,
Okay.
which there are other armies that don't have skirmishers that limited. So anyone should have skirmishers. I think it's these guys. But anyway, 5 models for 170 points with an additional 5 for 28 points per model.
Okay.
They are just a standard elf stat line: movement 5, weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 4, strength 3, toughness 3, 1 wound,
Right.
5 initiative, 1 8. It's like, okay. Longbow, they have Hawthorne points, which are the poison.
Poisons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Forest Walker, lightning reflexes, they're skirmishers. They can pay for paired weapons, not Sylvan weapons, paired weapons, and get for 2 points. And you can give one of them scout for 2 points, and you can add a champion.
Scouts worth doing. They're light troops, so the loss of the musician. Are they light troop? They're skirmishers.
The skirmishers.
So the
yes.
loss of the musician doesn't hurt you that
No,
much.
it doesn't really matter. This unit used
That's
to be
pretty pricey for a guy with a bow.
well. The problem here is this unit suffers because in a few editions ago, when you could get 30 of them,
Right.
and before monsters had armor, people would just spam poison.
Correct. And just shoot
And that
off
was
your
so.
monsters
So they
with
limited these guys
And
because
war
of that,
machines.
and raised their points.
poison.
But now, monsters have armor, and
Right.
armor has monsters too, and war machines have more wounds.
Right.
So having some poison shots, a ballistic skill 4, yeah, and they
Right.
don't, and so you're not. They're not. They cost a lot more than the regular archers, which in most circumstances are not as good as. so
Yeah.
they're just severely overcost, and they don't quite have a role in the army either, which we'll see when we get to the Pathfinders. This unit, I wish they changed them completely and go in a different direction, make it more of a hybrid unit,
A fighty unit, maybe.
like halfway between. So give them the Sylvan Blades as a standard. You maybe raise their ballistic skill to 5.
Right.
Just give them regular, black arrows. And then maybe instead of making them skirmishers, make them light troops. Give them, hard target.
To make
Maybe some cloaks and some light armor.
Okay.
So make them kind of the fighty, shooty guys.
Fighty, shooty guys.
Yeah, that are maneuverable.
But still, if anything serious hits them, they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe give them scout. So or maybe I don't see why scout is such a big deal. Give them scout.
Scout's pretty big.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you're talking about maybe 10, at most 10 models. So what's it going to cost you? 20 points.
Scout's a nice rule. I
Scout's
just
a
think,
nice rule.
but to only have 3 guys, and you don't need to be that limited.
Oh, to only limit one choice,
yeah,
3 scouts,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Or trade scout for ambush.
Mhm.
There's different things you can do to make them kind of like rangers for the dwarves.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of how I think of them.
All right. Next, we have the Pathfinders. 5 models for 230.
You thought the other guys were expensive.
Yeah, it did. And you can add up to 5 for 40 points a model, which is the same as the Blade Dancers, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
These guys, movement 5, weapon skill 5, so they've got elite ballistic skill
Mm-hmm.
at 5. Rest we go back to being an elf, but weapon skill and ballistic skill bump.
Yes.
Sylvan Blades, which gives you AP1,
So they become
and a
initiative
second
6.
attack.
And a second
Right.
attack.
They have a longbow, forced walker, lightning reflexes. They're skirmishers. They're skirmishers,
Yeah, that too.
and they have scout.
Yes.
And they can upgrade to a champion. And they're master archers. Models with this special rule count as being equipped with the following arrows: True Mark,
Which is the ignore the cover.
ignore cover, Starlight Shaft, which is the magic
Right.
flaming,
Right.
perforating tip
It's
is
armor
the
piercing.
armor piercing, and jewel weed
Is a
shot,
double tap.
shot. So, yeah, you're paying, okay. Perforating tip, I think you're good, but the other, especially with ballistic skill 5, you're hitting a lot. 40 points a model. Whew.
these guys are crap now. You're paying a huge
40
amount of
points
points
a model.
for all these different arrows, much of which are mediocre at
Paying
best.
even more than that for the first ones.
Yes.
Playing close to 50. You're playing 46 apiece.
Yes.
Ooh.
For a strength 3 arrow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty brutal.
And you're paying a lot because of all these options, because they have all these options. They have close combat. They have all these different abilities.
Yeah.
But as I said, they're not really good at anything for the points.
No. Wow.
So they're just not well designed. This unit I'd prefer if they brought the weapon skill down. I don't think it's needed. Make the other guys have the weapon skill. Make these guys the uber shooters.
Make these the shooters. These the kind of...
Yeah. Still make them sentinel shooty, but just don't make them... just make them regular archer shooty with a better ballistic skill so they can move and stuff. But make these guys, drop their weapon skill. I don't care if they have the Sylvan Blades as an upgrade, but get rid of all these funky arrows and just give them 2 shooting modes. Give them a double tap mode basically that they can shoot, twice as fast as regular guys. So at least then they make their points up in rapid fire. And then give them a second option, a second type of fire, which would be like an aim fire.
Mm-hmm.
And this is controversial, of course, and say that if they take aim fire, they can't move.
Right.
That way you can, and then with that aim fire, you either you can give them like AP 4. I think 3's not quite enough.
Really?
And the AP 4 -1 to hit, and
-1 to hit,
+1 to wound. A minus against them, so basically their ballistic skill goes down by 1 because they're aiming.
Oh.
So they become like a war machine, basically. Wait
a minute. They're aiming, they get +1 ballistic skill.
It's a -1, so it'd be the equivalent of being ballistic skill 4 instead of ballistic skill 5. It hurts them.
So your ballistic skill go down if you aim?
Correct. It's because you're taking the time to make the perfect shot.
Ah, okay.
That's right. So that's why you're +1 to wound and you have an AP on top of that.
Okay.
So then you said you're the equivalent of a light war machine.
Yeah, I don't like the...
And you can't move.
I don't mind some of that, but I don't like the +1 to wound and AP 4. That's pretty brutal.
It is, but if I'm going to be paying this kind of...
But if you're paying 40-some points a model, 46 points a model...
If I'm paying elite points, I want elite in shooting. I want an elite... This army has no elite real shooting units.
No.
And it's the elite shooting army. And if there's a unit that should be super elite above all else, it's these guys.
Right. The high elves
and if
have
I can
that
pay
Queen's
200
Guard and...
Right. If I can pay 200 points for 230 whatever it is for a Hellblaster volley gun and get
Oh, yeah.
Buku strength 5 shots, which are AP 1.
Yeah, but you got 30-inch range. It only has 24.
Yeah, there you go.
You can move and it can't.
Yeah.
You're not looking at everything.
Yeah, you're right. So, but I do think they said, but by dropping the ballistic skill and making them not be able to move when they do that, so they can't just dance around and play avoidance with it.
Okay.
Would balance it out. That's the direction I'd like to see them go into.
Something that might be a fair trade.
Yeah, something in that
direction
direction at least. Yeah. So
I'll think about that, and if I approve it, I'll make that change in the army book.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So this unit, I said, people still take them because they want to have that AP 3, but it's good if you happen to run into the right opponents.
Yeah, it's good, but 46 points a model.
It's not that good.
It's not that good.
Correct.
I mean, I'm looking at this as fighting it just normal. Call it Empire Knights, Empire Sonstal.
Mm-hmm.
You're hitting on 2s probably.
If you're within 15.
You're not going to be within 15 because you don't want them charging you. So you're probably hitting on 3. Call it 3s. Mm-hmm. You're hitting on 3s. You're wounding on 4s.
So you have 6 of them, so you can calculate it easier.
So if you have 6, you're hitting on 3s. You hit 4 times.
4 hits.
You're wounding on 3s. You're wounding on 4s. So you're wounding them twice. You're -3 to a save, so he's saving one of those.
So you killed one knight.
So your 46, your 270 point unit kills a knight a turn.
Yes.
On average.
Yeah.
And that's their goal. I mean, that's their function, I think.
So if it does that over 6 turns...
If it does that over 6 turns, you paid for yourself.
You paid for yourself.
Yeah, as long as they didn't get mad and charge you.
Yeah. I'm saying if no one messes with you, you paid for yourself.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway. Okay.
So, yeah.
No, not so great.
No, this needs help.
So, what do we got next?
Okay.
Force Giants.
The army has no war machines.
Force Giants. You got giants in your army?
Yeah. I'm saying it has no war machines.
Right. So
it
these
has
guys-
no high strength magic arrows. It's got no shooting to take care of high toughness, high strength, high armor.
The
guys.
only
Really,
strength 6 is your characters, right?
not for shooting.
No, for anything.
Oh yes, and the treatment. The
Oh, the
treatment. is
treatment.
six, yeah.
Okay.
But they're not catching anything. So
Yeah, they're moving 5,
Yeah.
right? All right. You get a giant, and he's better than my giant.
yes,
What is he? Tree Father?
he's a tree father.
Oh. He's 480 points. It costs a little bit more than my giant.
Yeah.
He's a single model. Movement 5. Slow guy.
Yes.
Weapon skill 5. Ballistic skill 5. Strength 6. Toughness 6. Wounds 5. 2 initiative. 5 attacks. 8 leadership. He's an 8 defense 3. Forced Walker, otherworldly, so he's got 5
ward.
up ward. He's got so he can switch his attacks to a crush attack.
Yeah.
He's got stubborn, so he's stubborn 8. That's
Yes.
good.
Not great, but good.
He's flammable. He has impaling roots. That's the
Shooting attack.
shooting attack at 12 inches.
Mhm.
And he has a bounce spell, tree singing.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's incredible. Look at this.
Yeah.
This they need to get rid of. It's way too overpowered.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely. Tracing is breaking the game.
He's 480
I'm
points. so
surprised it's not in the ogre army. It's so good.
well, that's how you can tell it's crap.
Yes,
It's not in
the ogres
army.
don't have it. Yeah.
If it's any good, the ogres have it,
Yeah.
or are immune to it. One
Yes,
of the two.
Yes.
So he's 480 points. 5 wounds, strength 6, tough 6.
He's a good monster.
He's stubborn 8. Yeah, he's a good monster.
He's a
an
good
8
monster.
defense 3.
He doesn't fly.
He doesn't
but,
fly.
you know, but
He's kind of slow.
He's slow, but he's tough.
No swift stride.
He's got nice strength attacks, a decent number of them, good weapon skill. A lot of monsters don't have high weapon skill.
Yeah, he's yeah. I tend to compare things to a spider.
Your spider tends to kill him the few times that we've played against one another, but
Looking at the stat line, I think he should.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a sheer number of attacks.
Sheer number of attacks from that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm only strength 5, so I'm only on 5. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, he's a good monster.
He's a good monster. Like I
I think
said,
it's kind of a toss-up who wins that fight. Right? What's a crush attack do? D3 or D6?
if you get your crush attack off, if you're still alive to get your crush attack off, yeah.
You're going to live through the first. I'm not going to kill you on the charge.
Yeah,
Is it D3 or D6? Do you remember?
D6.
Okay. You're not going to kill me with that either.
No.
So, all right.
I can't.
No, he's a
when
good
you,
monster.
When you got 5 weapon skill, 5 attacks, strength 6 weapon skill 5, I don't see why you'd ever use the crush attack. But I guess if you ran into something that was toughness 8,
Sphinx?
yeah, that's when you'd use it against the
Yeah.
super toughness stuff. But otherwise,
Yeah, Steam Tank, Sphinx, anything with really heavy armor,
yeah,
maybe.
but he's a solid monster, and I mean compared to the characters who are so expensive, I'd rather have this guy.
Oh, the
I'll take 2 of these any day.
the big tree characters.
Yeah, the ancients is about, I'm getting more attacks, I'm getting better weapon skill, better strength. Yeah, I'll take it. I lose 1 wound, I'll take it.
So, I guess there's one thing. What else didn't the characters used to have an option for the Warhawk for a character, or was that never a thing?
It was the eagle.
They never had the Warhawk.
I should know that, but I don't remember a warhawk.
Okay.
I remember always being the eagle.
Okay.
I mean, the eagle and the warhawk have basically the same stat line, so just different size bases.
Okay. Yeah, I do see, like I said, I see the no strength 6 in the army, except on your characters, is kind of tough. I agree with you there.
Yep.
They need somebody. One unit needs it.
One unit
Whichever
needs
you
it.
want to give it to.
Yeah.
Whether it's,
I think there's 2.
I don't think
one,
it's this, but I think,
it's either this or the other guys,
or the Kestrel Knights or
Yeah,
whatever.
I think it's the Kestrel Knights or the Rangers.
Yeah. Somebody needs strength 6 in the army,
Yeah.
I think. Other than that, I think your army's this is not bad, except for I don't mind the categories. What I don't like is I don't like the characters counting against those categories.
I don't like the multi-categories for characters or units.
The units, none of them were really that bad as far as multiple categories, were they?
Well, there's so many. They're all in at least pretty much in two categories, most of the units.
No. What I don't like is I don't like the characters.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Eating up all your fleet of foot points.
Yeah.
And then if you give them something up here, some of them ate up your unseen
Unseen
arrows
arrows,
points.
Yes.
Anyway, I think you could afford to drop this by a couple percentage and then take this out of the characters.
Yeah, no, I disagree.
I mean, I'm not talking about dropping it a lot, but just a little bit, maybe 5% each, and then not having the characters count against it.
I don't understand why core should count towards multiple categories. I'd rather you cap the core units.
Right.
And then reduce the points on the other ones so they were actually elite guys.
Yeah, core, Sylvan Archers, core, and Unseen Arrows.
Yes.
Okay.
And right now, Sylvan, in my opinion, the Sylvan Archers are your best or your only real archer choice.
Right.
The other guys are just so expensive for what you get anyway, but you need to fix those units. The Heath Riders being in
core and Fleet of Foot.
And Fleet of Foot, why are you ever going to take them when you have the other?
Right.
Unless you really want an ambush unit, I guess.
So it's the core units really that are counting in multiple categories that no one else does, right?
There's a couple, but it's the core that causes the problems.
Yeah, I'm looking down through here. Nothing else counts in multiples except for those. All right. But yeah, and that's weird on the core. All right. Yeah, like I said, my big problem. This doesn't bother me as much as the characters just taking up those points, because like you said, we got a character. One character is erasing 2 shooting units if it gives him that special ability.
Yes.
Which that special ability gives him 4 shots.
Exactly. 4 strength 3 shots.
4 strength 3 shots, and your shits. 4 strength 3 shots, and you're giving up 2 units for that.
I think your first pronunciation might
Do you
be
like
correct.
the first one?
Yeah.
Does that one work better?
Yeah. So I think they just need to. I saw one post at one point. The person said, "Do away with core for elves, since they're elite armies anyway, and just break up the categories."
Right.
Fine. I don't have a problem with that. I think something just needs to give here.
Yeah.
And then you have a few units that just are badly designed.
Badly designed.
The 2 archer units being the big example, and the Glade Riders. Those 3 units are kind of badly designed as far as compared to everything else in the army. Why would you take them?
Right. Yeah, I agree.
For these point totals.
So these guys,
these guys are not elite enough to justify the points, and they
46 points apiece.
add enough to the army, so
that is true.
to pay the extra. I mean, at least the Blade Dancers, which I think are overcosted now,
Right.
They're adding something to the army, right?
Right.
So
yeah.
So you feel like you have to take them because you need that ability.
Right.
These are so expensive; they're not giving you enough to say that anymore.
No, I don't see that at 46 points. Like I said, keep going back to that number. 46 points a model. That's tough.
Yeah.
That is real tough. Right?
Yeah.
For a
Toughness 3 guy.
Toughness 3 guy with no save of any
with
kind.
No save of any kind.
No save of any kind.
Yep. One good magic missile and you got 230 points.
Ooh. Fireball ring.
Yep. I mean, those fireballs have always been problems for the Sylvan Elves anyway,
Correct.
but
But
at these
D6
point
plus
totals,
D3 hits on this unit.
Yeah.
You raced a 230 point unit
Yep.
with a 35 point magic item.
Yep.
Or 50 or whatever it is
Yeah.
now. Wow. Okay.
So they just need to fix those 2 units.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean,
and then do something with the Glade Rider so you would take them. That may be just as simple as just doing away with their fleet of foot limitation.
yeah, the other thing is why aren't there why are your characters not getting the fast cav or whatever it is, light troops. If they ride the horse.
Yeah, I think
With the
I
rest.
said they were so afraid of avoidance that they limited, but
Yeah, I mean,
avoidance close combat isn't something I think is a problem.
it's available in so many other things.
Exactly.
Why is the wood elves not allowed to?
Right.
Sylvan elves
Yes.
not allowed to have it, especially on this one.
Yeah, if no one else had it, I'd understand it. But
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see maybe not giving it to the great elk
Sure.
because he's not a nimble beast,
Right.
but the elven horse, come on.
Yes.
I mean, he gives it to the wood elf. I mean, the high elves. The elven horse gives it to the.
I guess you could
Druid elves.
put your guys on forest eagles and buy large units of eagles to hide them in.
Okay. I'll do it. You do it. You've said you've got like 6 eagles, right?
Yeah, but I need like 10 to do that.
Well, you go buy some more.
Yeah.
You like eagles. You like those models.
Yeah.
Are yours finally flying? Or are they still crawling around on the ground?
You've seen them flying.
Okay.
They're firmly mounted. No more flopping on the ground.
No more limping along.
Yeah, no more.
We should have made you stick
for
with
weevils.
that movement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
But I mean, the army is it's I don't want to minute. It's a good army.
it is. It looks solid.
It's a good army. It is somewhat situational who you face. Some opponents
Right.
are just you're going to die against. Other ones you're going to dominate. So they need to still do some balancing, external balancing there. It's got from the flair of having a lot of glass cannons. It's got all that.
Right.
It's got clear weaknesses against anything shooting at it, any magic.
Well,
You know.
pyromancy is going
Yes.
to tear this army up.
Yeah, any type of magic missiles. It hits hard and in close combat. So it just needs a bit more love on the elite shooting, a little more strength on the attacks to deal with big stuff,
Right.
and deal with mounted armies, which will just roll over these guys because
Yes.
they'll overwhelm it too fast, and not having to rely on characters to compensate because they're so. You're going to pay a fortune for a character.
Yeah, you are.
And
Especially if you give it an aspect and
yeah,
top of your
yeah,
magic
and that's only one of
items.
them, and you need a couple of them. So, yeah, so I think this army just needs tweaking.
Mhm.
A couple units need to be redesigned, a couple tweaks here and there, and they need to fix the organization, which is now kind of goofy.
Goofy.
Yeah, as far as because of the limitations, but yeah.
Right. All right. Yeah.
But overall, I mean, it still has the feel it's always had, and still one of my favorite armies.
Yeah. I think it's in a decent place. I think it's kind
Yeah.
of an average level.
I think it's above average.
I think it's above average army.
Yeah, I think that's why they've been hitting it so much. It's. I mean, it's above average for a good player.
Okay. Right.
Not that I'm a good player, but in but I think for a good player because you can strike pretty hard and you can do some good things.
Right. All right. Well, I guess that'll do it for the Sylvan Elves.
Till next time.
I kind of like the army.
Is it a thumbs up?
It's a thumbs up.
Okay, then a thumbs up for me too because I have to. we need a third thumb to stick with our elven theme.
Yeah. Yeah. So, first person to listen to this, put your thumb up for us.
There you go.
Thank you. Anyway, thank you for listening.
Till next time.